Hey there, fellow watchers. It's me, Whitey, and this is Born to Watch, the movie podcast where we don't take ourselves or the movies too seriously, except, of course, Damo.
During the Snorbs report.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent, horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. It's Anchorman.
Sure is.
Arguably the greatest comic actor of our generation, Will Ferrell's portrayal of everyone's favourite news anchor, Ron Burgundy, is legendary. And tonight, we've assembled our own Channel 4 news team to do it justice. Joining me, Sir Dimmy Cockburn. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it's great to be here.
Where does that come from?
Glad you asked. So, yeah, we did The Exorcist. There was Father Damien Karras and his mum.
Oh, Dimmy.
You would say, Dimmy,
Oh,
call him Dimmy.
Dimmy.
And then we did Tropic Thunder with Damien Cockburn.
We've all had that.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And
Yes.
and I was like, there's not too many other movies where there's a Damien in it. So we've combined
Omen?
Dimmy with.
We're doing the
True,
we're
yes.
doing the Omen next.
Or maybe I can add some numbers to it. But yeah, so, and then because Dimmy Cockburn's sort of a regal name, when Prince Charles came out the other week, yeah, I got knighted.
He's
Really?
King Charles.
So
It's King Charles.
Oh,
now.
yeah. That the new one, yeah,
Now you're thinking of the Prince Albert
that you've got,
That
yes,
I've
with,
got.
The, with the cubic
with
zirconia
a
in it.
very small cubic zirconia.
Yeah. Sir Dimmy Cockburn is the name.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you're hearing a man that is going to bring what Gow would declare gravitas
Yes.
to this podcast.
Great Odin's Raven.
The world's best look-back actor is joining us again on the couch.
Mm.
Croaksy. What an absolute pleasure.
News team assemble.
Very Avengers-like.
Mate, we've been talking this up for a bit of a while now. This has been in the ether.
Mhm.
This episode of Anchorman. Your suggestion,
Yeah.
and this is what I love about the relationship that we have here is that we throw you a bone and
Mhm.
you say this is what I want to do, and I go, well, you keep picking good movies.
Whitey, so wise. You were so wise. I think this is a splendid, romantic, satirical comedy that is worthy of breaking down and pulling apart and appreciating for the comic magic that it truly is.
Wow.
Okay, well it's going to be hard to come back from that one.
It was kind of, we're leaving off because your last one was Napoleon Dynamite, wasn't it? So same
No,
year.
no. Ghost was the last one.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, we had a poor audio issue,
Yes.
And it was what was actually
Yes, dog shit audio. Yeah,
one of our best episodes, I think.
that no one could hear.
Yeah, but everyone listened to
I think it's
Huh?
because everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, smart
a
ass.
good, but it's a good movie that everyone loves. Doesn't matter.
And one you can sort of pick apart a bit, which is the key.
Yeah.
Comedies are very difficult to do this. I
Harder
found
than drama.
I found that the comedies that we have done, it's very difficult to cover all the bases of good, the bad, the ugly, because
Yeah.
they're all taking the piss. They're not serious.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
Yeah.
there's going to be plenty of ugly if you really dive into it. But
Yeah. But you can gloss over it and just it sort of blends in with the rest of it.
absolutely. Overs and unders, gentlemen. 2004 movie, 20 years old this year. It's hard to believe that it's
God,
20
yeah.
years
Oh
old.
no.
It really is hard to believe. And I'm going to set it. This is one that you can go back to very regularly.
Mm.
I'm setting it at one a year at 20.
Oh,
Now, Damo, Sir Dimmy,
Cockburn.
over and unders 20, and tell us first memories of Anchorman.
I cannot remember where I first watched it. I'm probably only on 5 to tell you.
Okay, that's
But
big
I,
for
but,
you.
but
though.
I know it so well. I've thought about it a gazillion times in popular culture,
Yeah.
sort of thing. But yeah, just full watches. I never really watch a movie for a half a watch, so I'm pretty much full every time.
Okay, do you know what I was talking? I was actually talking to Dan on the land the other week about your incredible memory, because, and I don't bullshit when I say that I've seen some movies like 100 times.
Yep.
Now, bit parts hereof and whatever, but you can recite stuff and remember stuff from movies you've seen 2 or 3 times, like you watched it yesterday and you've seen it 1,000 times. Is this because you don't have CTE because you played on the wing for football?
Anywhere in the back, so I'd play. But yeah, maybe it is. Yeah. No, look, there is something. Look, don't ask me to remember numbers. Shit ass at numbers.
Yeah.
But names and things like that.
What about Rocky 4? Remember that?
I didn't do that podcast,
you
did I?
didn't. You didn't.
No.
Yeah.
You're good with music too, though. You've got
Or
that same
names.
mind
Yeah.
for songs and music,
Yeah.
and yes, you'd often do that. I remember that. I think it's off that. I think it came off that album.
He loves doing my impersonation.
It's an exaggerated version.
Yeah, I know.
But, you'd always be. Yeah, I think I know what that is. And you'll kind of.
It's up in the register.
He kind of gets up there.
It's up in the register.
Steve Roach style, block a road.
It's up in the register.
But he does. He's got great recall.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
he
that's
does.
enough about me.
Total recall.
Yeah.
Stop calling you Doug
Nice.
Quaid.
Yes, that's
Nice.
right. Cohagen.
Quato.
Yes.
Quaid. You look a bit like Quato.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Now, Croaksy, over and unders 20. And what are your first memories of Anchorman?
Wow, that's a good question. I can't remember. I just remember always loving it. It would have been, I came a little bit late to the party, but yeah, I fell in love with it. There's a great blend of absurdity in there, but there's a lot of social commentary as well. I think it's smarter in some respects than you might first take it at. So it caught me. But I'm regularly once a year, easily. It's highly rewatchable.
Yeah.
Highly rewatchable because it's just such a damn well written screenplay.
Yeah, it's funny. I saw it at the movies, and it's very similar relationship that I had with Austin Powers when I first saw it at the movies. I thought it was funny. I didn't quite get it or appreciate what it has become to me. And I've got to say, though, God, this podcast destroys the way I watch movies.
Oh, no.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I actually sat in, and I didn't laugh as much this time. I chuckled.
Wow.
I chuckled because
Okay.
I'm looking for things.
Yeah.
And so I've then got to almost wipe aside this viewing when I think about, well, what do I really truly think about this movie? And I tell you what it does to me. It does something to me. It makes me feel things.
Oh, wow.
This movie. And it's really funny. And that's all I can say.
True, but we do overanalyze. Well, I can't remember what it was, but maybe a couple of weeks ago, I gave a lower score because I think I analysed the movie too much and picked it apart too much.
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting there, just enjoying
feeling
it.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is the first time that I took very little notes. Usually I take tons of notes.
Yep.
And this I took very few notes. The longest notes I took was for the rank bank.
Oh,
now
right.
we've got a list of stuff for the
there
rank
would
bank
be-
tonight. A list of stuff.
Can we just talk about notes for a second and just look at Croaks' compendium?
Look,
this thing is leather bound.
okay.
It's got one side with the clip, the A4 clip. It's got a calculator.
Well, can I tell you something? I'm kind of a big deal.
got many leather-bound books.
It smells like mahogany.
It's more, yeah, that's right. I think this is more like is it pleather? Is that what they call
right.
imitation
Yeah,
leather?
it definitely.
looks real.
Look, it's not leather.
But
let's be
compared to
honest.
what this is top shelf.
Yeah, thank you.
This is a real flex.
Yeah.
So we've
I thought I'm sitting here with a sir. I want to impress him.
That's a fair call.
and you have. Now it's funny because we spoke last week. We had DJ Paul Glasby on the podcast,
Yep.
world-renowned
Yeah.
English DJ, lovely fella, and he prepared well. He had a couple foolscap pages, A4 pages of notes.
A4
A4
if it was
pages.
foolscap,
Wasn't
that'd be
foolscap.
incredible.
A4 pages of
Yeah.
this. Didn't have them in a compendium.
No, he wouldn't have. He's a
And we've gone from the lowest to the low for notes with Will, with compliments slip.
with a
And then a
post-it
black
note.
book.
Yeah.
Then he really the spiral notebook.
Yeah.
So he's come on,
He's developed.
and Croaksy has too. Like this is next level.
This is another level.
You're setting a bar for all future guests.
Yeah.
Thank you for noticing.
Yes, of course. All right, I'll tell you guys about the movie. I was going to read the back of the VHS.
Are you going to do it in voiceover style?
In a
Anchorman.
world. I feel like I feel a little bit.
I think it kind of does. Oh well, it might be. Yeah.
See, it's hard
Might
with
take
Croaksy
second
here.
fiddle. He'll be.
It's hard with Croaksy here.
In other words, Whitey was the balls.
He was the boss.
Yeah. Well, it's hard with Croaksy here. I feel a bit self.
Yeah. It's like, oh
you know,
yeah,
Anyway, I'm going to try.
Yep.
I'll tell you who I'm going to be better than.
me.
Gow.
Oh right.
Because Gow is shit at this, and he's been doing it for 2 years. Will Ferrell is Ron Burgundy, a top-rated 1970s San Diego anchorman who believes women have no place in the newsroom. As long as they hang on a sec, it's missing. Look at that, it's missing it.
See, you need to come prepared with a compendium, then this wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, okay. Will Ferrell is Ron Burgundy, a top-rated 1970s San Diego anchorman who believes women have a place in the newsroom, as long as they stick to covering fashion shows or late-breaking cooking news. So when Ron is told he'll be working with a bright young newswoman who's beautiful, ambitious, and smart enough to be more than eye candy, it's not just a clash of two TV people with really great hair. It's war. Filled with wicked wit and slapstick humor, Anchorman is this year's most wildly irreverent and must-see comedy hit. Rated PG. 94 minutes.
PG?
Yes.
Was it PG?
Yeah.
He had a voice that would make a Wolverine purr.
Yes. That was at the beginning, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, dear me. So not bad. Doesn't give. I like. You know what I like is it doesn't give anything away. And they couldn't afford to.
I don't think it sounds that exciting to go and watch.
No, it doesn't.
And even the name Anchorman, the Legend of Ron Burgundy, it's not. I've got to see. What the hell's that?
Well, I don't know. I'm a big fan of bloopers. I'll go down rabbit holes on YouTube for bloopers.
Yeah, right.
And still the greatest blooper of almost of all time, if you take Ricky Gervais, anything done by Ricky Gervais, any of the shows he's done, is the Anchorman 2 blooper about the frothy ejaculate. About I pleasured myself to the image of Mrs. Buttersworth. You know,
I don't know if you've seen the bloopers.
And it cuts over to Paul Rudd.
Yeah. Like losing his shit.
Yeah, he can't hold it because it's like, what? My leg covered in ejaculate.
He goes. I know how those people of Pompeii felt.
Oh,
Instead of hot lava, I rained down on them with hot frothy ejaculate. And it is one of the greatest outtakes. It's actually on our Instagram.
Yeah.
And has had, I think, about 3 million views.
He's got the best bloopers of all time. That whole what is it? I feel it way down deep in my
my God. Eastbound and Down.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And the whole I said, let the boy watch.
My wife's Donna.
It's how my father learned. It's how I learned it. His father before him. Yeah. Let the boy watch.
But the plums with a bluish hue, fresh,
ready for market, ready to take the market.
And it's just a shot of the guys receiving that.
Right. Craig Robinson and McBride.
Yes.
Danny McBride.
Yeah.
Now, Eastbound and Down is a real quality TV show. If you've not watched it,
haven't checked it,
mate, you need to watch it.
Right.
Danny
I've
McBride,
seen bits, but not the whole.
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride plays a drug-addled ex-MLB pitcher, and he goes back to his hometown to try and restore his career. And it is hilarious. It is so funny.
We'll do it.
Well done, gents. Critical thinking. Now, IMDb rates Anchorman 7.1 out of 10.
Okay.
66% on the tomato meter.
It's pretty low.
86 popcorn meter.
There you go.
Some good popcorn there.
Big good popcorn. Now, that's the public like it a hell of a lot more than the critics.
Yep.
Must be hard as a critic to, I guess, review properly, not like us. Proper critics.
It must
review
be hard,
a comedy.
Yeah, hard for critics to legitimize absurdist humor. And yet that film, if you take the comedy away from it, the production design is impeccable.
Yeah.
It's beautifully shot. It's actually a very well edited film. I watched it again on the weekend before the pod and I appreciated it just as an edit.
Yeah.
Wow, right.
It's a really well built, put together film. And I think critics have a hard time putting their name to legitimizing that kind of satire.
Yes.
Because of the themes that are in there.
Yeah.
You kind of have to push yourself away from being, I think, applauding it too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, we've got a bad review here. Rob Blackwelder of Spliced Wire.
Blackwelder.
That's a great name.
Good name.
Oh, that's up there with Cockburn.
Yeah. Well, it's a close second. It's photo finish.
Yeah.
Good, dumb fun can be lowbrow without being lazy. but bite-sized episodes of creative lunacy are not enough to qualify Anchorman as the kind of dumb worth paying to see.
So he's saying bite-sized. It's just a series of SNL skits.
And it does have that feeling. It does have that feeling a little bit.
Well, Adam
McKay?
Yeah, McKay.
Yep.
Was obviously an SNL writer, which is where he and Will caught up
Yeah.
and created. So it does have that sense of it. But those scenes are well constructed too. They're like mini movies.
Yeah.
When you go back and look at it, there's always a very strong final moment before we cut into the next.
Yeah.
And then they are kind of pieced together. But I think that's the film's strength, not its weakness.
I agree.
Wow,
I think the thread works. I think it does. It doesn't. Whereas there are some movies that really seem like a skit.
Yeah, because this felt like a story to me. It didn't feel like.
Well, you look at Night at the Roxbury. We know that one, right? We had memories of that in Sydney.
Yeah.
Roxbury. Emilio. I swear to God. I was like,
He dipped his
Emilio. But that is a good example of you're only taking a sketch
Yes.
and you're trying to get 90 minutes out of it.
Yeah.
That's not what this film is.
No, I agree. Agreed. Okay, good review. Drew McAnulty. Jam movies. With the ability to throw all caution and sometimes all clothes to the wind, Ferrell has that unique ability to be both funny and vulnerable at the same time, a quality that makes him hard not to like.
Love it.
Yeah.
When I watched it again on the weekend, the scene where he comes home to Baxter, and it's even with the comedy in there, there's still that sense of that character's been well designed and he's lonely.
He is, yeah.
And there's the humor and he's talking to his dog and there's all that stupidity that's going on. But there's a genuine sense of this guy's a lonely guy that would like to be more than what this alter ego is that he's created. And if you don't have that in there, I don't think you stay for the journey.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a little bit too one note.
Yeah.
And it means nothing when it kind of resolves. So I remember watching that last time around and just thinking, oh, there we are. There's a little bit of subtext in there about the loneliness this guy has in spite of the how loud he is on the exterior.
Well, I think it actually then, when he loses the only thing that matters to him, which is the Anchorman job,
his dog.
Well, Baxter, and then the Anchorman job.
Yeah, that's
then
it.
It's like he's got nothing. So, which is why it takes him 4 hours to look like a hobo. Right?
That's right.
Milk was a bad choice. Okay, ordinary people. Quite a substantial cast. We'll hit the main players. We'll start with the director, Adam McKay. Obviously, Craig's already said Saturday Night to begin. Anchorman was his first feature that he directed. Him and Will Ferrell obviously had a long-standing relationship that has now since broken down.
Has it?
Yeah, they had a falling out over, and we'll get to that in a sec.
All right.
Talladega Nights, Step Brothers, Other Guys, Anchorman 2.
Wow.
The movies he's done with Will Ferrell.
They're awesome.
Right?
All
But
of them.
then he's also tipped his hand into, he did Vice, which was the George W. Not Vice, Vice, the one about the political one.
Oh, yeah.
Cheney, Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Yep, Dick Cheney. And then The Big Short, which is a more fun. Now, The Big Short, I love The Big Short. I know you hate it, Tamer.
It's so average.
No, it's very good.
Yeah.
It's very good. He's produced and written so much more. He's got like 189 credits or something. It's massive what he's done. Now, he had a falling out with Will Ferrell over the TV series, which he created, Winning Time, which is about Magic Johnson and the Lakers. Right? Now, the reason being is that Will Ferrell wanted to play the owner of the Lakers,
Jackie Moon.
Not Jackie Moon, but he gave it to John C. Reilly. And so Will Ferrell toys out of the cot. We're done.
Really?
Yeah. So obviously, and Will Ferrell and McKay also created Funny or Die. You know, the Funny or Die. Really, really funny skit with Adam McKay's very young daughter, Pearl, about the landlord, and she turns up to Will Ferrell
to collect rent.
Yeah, kicks him out. It's hilarious.
Yes, genius.
Like, very funny.
Yeah.
So that's it. Will McKay, a legend, funny man, done some very, very good films. Obviously, then Will Ferrell as Ron Burgundy. He's done 138 credits. There's 138 credits on his IMDb. He's a jobber, man. He's worked.
That's probably in 25 years.
Mate, he's worked. Yeah, it's not long. He's been in reality. He's not been making movies he's not Humphrey Bogart.
No, A Night at the Roxbury might have been the first that I'd. Oh, it was more. This is the first time I'd seen Will Ferrell. I think
Yeah.
that was like late '90s.
Yeah, I'd say the same. Yeah.
And then he's just gone. Yeah, well, Talladega and Anchorman and Step Brothers and Old School, whatever. Oh, just bang, 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 just churning out shows.
So Zoolander,
of course,
Elf,
Legato,
Wedding Crashers,
Legato.
who we've done,
Yeah.
where he plays the funeral crusher. And one was which is slowly, well, not slowly, but it's become one of my Will Ferrell favorites is Blades of Glory.
Oh, unreal.
Love it.
Oh, mate, it's so
John
funny.
Heder with
It
your
is
mate.
so
Yeah,
funny.
Yeah.
God, that's funny.
It is hilarious.
He's produced over 91 movies. He's very prolific. So, but then we talk about Ron, and we've talked a little bit about him. He's quite layered as a character.
Yeah.
For a comedy movie, there's quite a few layers once you start to peel them back. He's quite emotional. He's lonely.
Maestro on the jazz flute.
And you know what? He's played flute for many, many years.
Has he?
Will Ferrell, yeah. Yeah.
So it's a real thing.
That's him really playing. Except it's not real flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole, I know we're jumping around here, but that whole sequence on the jazz flute in the bar.
Yeah.
Again, the way it's shot, the way it's blocked.
Yeah.
That's filled with hilarity. That's a short film. Yeah, that's right.
That's baby making music.
That's right. Get ready for those ham and eggs.
Oh God. It's
But
funny.
when he's playing the flute under the toilet, the guy's sitting on the crap.
that's that
His
shot.
head
Yeah.
just comes under
Yeah.
the toilet.
It's just there for a moment and then it's out.
Aqualung.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. I've got a bit of aqualung in my listen to this.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, Christina Applegate as Veronica Corningstone, obviously best known as Kelly Bundy.
Yes, for sure.
And you know what? Hasn't done heaps of stuff, really. Like for someone who's been in the industry for such a long time, but she dined on Kelly Bundy for a long time.
Yeah.
Was it Don't Tell Mum the Babysitter's Dead?
Yeah.
That remember that
Yep.
when that was a big deal for her being in a feature?
Like Breaking Away from Married with Children is a movie. She was big.
She's kind of a
You,
big
you,
deal.
you thought she was going to just go nuts.
Yeah, never really.
Never
took
really.
off.
Like, she's done a lot in her later career.
Sure.
So she was obviously in Vacation with Ed Helms, the
Oh, yes, the
redo.
wife, yeah.
And she was in Bad Mums, and she's been in a bit of TV as well. She's the token female in this film.
She's solid.
She's good.
Yeah.
I like her. I think she's a great actress.
Great
Or
Heine.
actor, as Daniel would say. Great
Yes.
Heine. She
Yeah.
just like to lather some some butter on it.
But if she doesn't work, that all comes undone.
She is
Yeah.
so good in
And
this.
she works.
Her acting, just her blinking eyes
Yeah.
when he says the most ridiculous things to her, or
The moment where he tells San Diego to go F yourself,
yeah,
and she
Her-
hasn't got dialogue. It's just a reaction to
Yeah.
camera,
Shock. Yeah.
yeah.
and it's all set in the eyes. They're all
Yeah.
subtle touches.
She, you know, she's really good.
She's got comic chops, no
Yeah.
doubt about
Yeah,
it.
she's
definitely.
Yeah.
And
she's
she's
very
fist pumping, and or when Rod Smooth talks to her, she's like, "Oh, Ron," and she just melts.
Yeah.
She's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's good. She's very good. Paul Rudd, Brian Fantana.
Fantana, you know.
Mate, so this guy never gets old. And I know
No,
he doesn't age.
he looks exactly the same he does today as he did in 2004.
Well, I reckon in Clueless,
Yeah.
he looked the same age, definitely.
It's crazy.
'Cause-
It's just the hair.
But at first, because I thought he looked sort of oldish in Clueless, because they were all young,
Yeah.
16, 17, 18. And he looked old, but he now has not changed at
No.
all.
No. Well, he's great. This is 40. He's obviously Ant-Man in all the Marvel cinema. And one of my favorite Paul Rudds is Role Models.
Oh, okay,
Which is
yeah,
funny.
with Sean
William
William
Scott.
Yeah.
What's the one he's in? And it's hilarious. Hot American Summer.
Wet American
Hot
yeah.
American
I
Summer.
tell you,
Hot, Wet,
that is one
man.
of my. That is a classic
That's
movie.
cry out loud.
You
and
have
funny.
mentioned that on
I've
the
mentioned it a
podcast
few
before.
times. Yeah,
Have
it
you ever
is,
sat and watched it?
I haven't seen it.
mate.
Oh, it's
I'll have to
cry
watch
out
it.
loud
It
funny.
is David Hyde Pierce,
Yes.
Janine Garofalo. It is a classic.
And he's great in it too.
Okay.
He is
He's,
so
he's
funny.
the
He's the
denim on
jock.
denim jock.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
It's solid.
It is a really freaking funny.
Yeah.
I haven't met too many people that have watched it.
Yeah.
I've
no,
probably seen it about 4 times, and I still cack my tits off
yeah.
every time I watch
It's
it.
solid.
All right, I'll put it on the list.
Yeah,
Brian Fantana,
Well-
he's hilarious.
he is.
He's the true. Is he the funniest in the movie?
The Bry Man.
He's definitely up there. Like when they're trying to put her off when she's doing
Oh
her
my
first
God.
anchor, and he's standing there dancing in his
Oh my
undies. or he's just playing with the gun at the party at the beginning. You know, he's just got he's like Mr. Cool, but yeah, I think
Desire smells like that to some people.
That's right.
he's up
He's
there.
great. He's great. Very good. Steve Carell, Brick Tamland.
Oh. Do you think he had a script?
Absolutely not. I think there was a script. I think a lot of this was they must have done 20 to 40 takes of every single thing.
I read an interview where he was talking about the whole sequence. I love Lamp, and
I love Lamp.
and he was saying, there was script framing for the scene,
Right.
and then he went off into this space, and it was I'm going to look around the room and say that I love the first thing I see, and then Will just received that
because he responded like,
and
"You
it's like,
really love the
do
lamp."
you really love the lamp, or you're just saying you love the very first thing you look at? And it's an improvised scene, but that magic where another actor trusts the other actor,
right. Goes with it.
I'll flick you this, I receive you there, I raise you that, and then you're seeing that played out. That's the genius of Ferrell too. He allows that space for those.
He's
scenes.
not selfish.
No,
He's not selfish at all.
No.
Like he's willing to give people the, as you said, the space to shine.
Yeah.
I think that scene especially, like Paul Rudd is the worst at holding character. Like you can just see him.
He's a Jerry Seinfeld.
He's a Seinfeld. He's just on the brink of cracking all the time. But you know, this was his first big role was in Evan or Bruce Almighty as the news guy.
Yeah.
When that Jim Carrey makes him do the things on the TV, but he's obviously massive from the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yep.
He was in Little Miss Sunshine as Frank, and obviously The Office, Michael Scott, the US reboot. He was in The Big Short,
movie,
and The Morning Show, which is a great TV series, which is about the sex in the TV industry and all that sort of stuff. Matt Lauer. He plays Matt Lauer.
Oh, right.
Oh, does he?
Essentially.
Yeah.
It's got Jennifer Aniston in it and Reese Witherspoon, and it is excellent. And Foxcatcher as well, where he plays the wrestling coach, the millionaire sort of wrestling guy.
He's got a weird voice and
Weird
he looks
nose.
weird.
Channing Tatum's in that as well. Mark Ruffalo.
That's a solid flick, I thought.
It's a great movie. Yeah. Very dark. David Koechner as Champ Kind.
I don't know him from anything else.
He's a massive jobber. But he's a bit parter.
Right.
Like he's like seventh build in everything he does. And
I don't think I'd recognise him in something now.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah.
What's his list of
Mate,
credits?
it's all bit parts in nothing like this. The Anchorman movies are the biggest things he's done.
Right.
So he's not done a heap. And you know what? He's
funny.
He's funny.
When
he's weird, man.
Yeah.
Seriously weird.
The scene on the sidewalk where he's walking past Ron with the milk.
Yeah.
And I love you, Ron.
Yeah.
I miss you, Ron. I want to move into an apartment with you, Ron.
That was when he was. That's when they were sitting down, and when he
That's
finished
right.
that,
I miss your
want to
scent.
move in. Yeah,
I miss your scent.
that was hilarious.
And you know that's improvised.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
no doubt in my mind.
That's all improvised.
Yeah,
That's all
absolutely.
improvised.
Champ Kind.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Now, one of the true, I think, shining lights of this movie is Frank Willard as Ed Harker.
Oh, Fred.
Yeah, R.I.P.
I've got the same thing
hang
here.
on. Is it?
He died in 2020, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's been dead for a little while. But he obviously best in show A Mighty Wind. He was in Modern Family. He plays the dad, one of the whatever his name's dad. What's his name? Yeah, it's got me now.
In Modern Family.
Modern Family.
He's my favourite next to Ferrell here. I think
He's excellent.
excuse the pun, but he's the anchor in there for that film. He plays it so straight and so well.
Yeah.
Those scenes, his scenes are like little microcosm of masterclasses in comedy.
Mm.
Yes, so straight and dry. The scene where he's on the phone to the teacher about his son seeing German pornography.
You know, we've seen it. You've seen it.
Sorry, sister.
And it's easy to dismiss those scenes.
Yeah.
I was watching them again going, oh, man, that's masterful.
Yeah.
He's just fully committed. He's throwing it away and plays it so straight. If I could get more of him in that film, I'd be happy.
There needs to be more of him.
Yeah,
I agree.
I would have loved to have seen a scene where he's meeting the teacher and seeing his son, to see him out in the world.
Yeah.
I know it's not his story.
This
but
could be in Quickfire, an additional scene.
It probably will be.
Yeah.
It probably will be.
Were you thinking of, was it Phil Dunphy?
Phil Dunphy.
Right.
So he plays Phil Dunphy's dad.
Right.
Yeah. So look, and then a massive sort of second tier cast. Catherine Hahn,
Yep.
who's hilarious.
Yep.
She obviously goes on to star in Step
Step
Brothers.
Brothers was
One of the great
Yep.
roles in comedy.
Dale Dobeck.
Oh, God. I just want to roll you up and stick you in my vagina. You could just live there, up my vagina.
Oh, my God.
Seth Rogen plays the camera. He's the camera. Chris Parnell, who's Ed's right-hand man.
Oh, yeah, poop mouth.
Yeah. Fred Harmison, who is Tino.
Oh, Scuzzy.
Miss Guzzi
From Eurotrip. Yep.
And obviously Danny Trejo. You know, anytime
Oh,
you can sort of
Machete.
shoehorn him in there,
He's great.
he's so good in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's great.
I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah, it's perfect.
What did you just say something? I'm sorry. I just don't speak Spanish.
That's perfect.
Yeah, anyway, $90.6 million at the box office, Anchorman did. Number 66 for the year, which I reckon is a little low. I
Right.
thought it might have done more than that.
Yeah.
But still the 100 million, which is pretty good, on a budget of 26 million.
But that year was jam-packed with comedies.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Did it get a second life in DVD?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The rental market was
Sure.
massive.
Yeah.
Massive. Budget of 26 million, opening weekend 28.4. Recouped made profit in the first weekend.
There you go.
25 weeks at the movies it stayed.
What?
25
crazy.
weeks.
Yeah.
Nothing would be like that.
No.
No,
Ever again.
You're lucky to get 25 days this year,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
nowadays. Over 3,100 theatres. Big year 2004. Big year. Biggest movie of the year, Shrek 2.
Yeah.
928 million.
Wow.
It's the best of the Shreks, Shrek
Yeah.
2. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, 795 million. Spider-Man 2, 783 million. The Incredibles, 631 million. And then, we've got four effectively kids films.
Yeah.
Number 5, Passion of the Christ.
There you go.
Awesome.
611 million. Yeah, I've told my story
I
on
think
my.
it's an awesome.
I told
you
the
saw
story
it
on my
your
honeymoon.
or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
His
I
honeymoon
said if that was
watches.
me, I'd punch him out. When he was getting whipped, guy pulled me over. If that was me, I'd punch him out. That's what the guy said to me.
Guy in this theatre.
And the guy in the
Wow.
theatre. It was a packed theatre. We were on a honeymoon.
Yeah, good on
That's
you, mate.
hilarious.
In Maroochydore. It was like the storm of the century outside.
Yeah.
So we thought we'll go to the movies. We can't keep doing what we're doing. It's gonna fall off.
And some stranger
On the
leans
honeymoon.
over and says like this.
Packed theatre. A guy grabs me and says, "If that was me, I'd punch him out."
Wow.
When he's
Well
getting
done.
flogged.
That's hilarious.
I was just like,
The absurdity of that. That's a scene.
it's incredible.
In the movie of your life.
Incredible. It's incredible.
That's a tough date night movie.
It's a big date. Well,
Yeah.
we've been together a long time.
So
We're on
you
a
don't
honeymoon.
date anymore. You're just kind of
No.
tolerating each other's
But-
company.
Well,
It was.
you know
It
what
was
it's
in.
We're all married.
Well, when we saw that, when we did the Naked Gun the other week, and when Leslie Nielsen and Priscilla Presley are doing their little montage of joy,
Yeah,
and
brilliant.
they've just come out of
A platoon.
Platoon,
And
was
they're
the
pissing
movie,
themselves
and they're
laughing.
laughing their heads
Yeah,
off as they walked out.
That's what it was like. That's what it was like.
Oh, I've forgotten about that.
Well done, gentlemen. A 2004 hit, Sleeper and Dud. And the look back actor has got the hit for the year. What do you got for us, mate?
Oh, can I guess what your hit would be?
Well, is this one that clearly was by
no,
box
it's,
office?
it's you.
Or your hit?
It's just
me?
you, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, as much as I love Spider-Man 2, I still think that's one of the best Spider-Man movies ever made. That's
Definitely.
aged
Was that
well.
Doc Ock?
Doc
Doc
Ock.
Ock.
Yeah.
It's a great Spider-Man film. And I know that's widely known. I still think it's one of the best of the whole bunch. Ned Kelly with Heath Ledger, I think, is a great
Whoa.
overlooked film.
Yeah.
And I went to that thinking very little about wanting to catch it. And from the opening moments right through, Heath Ledger's brilliant.
Really?
Yeah, the
I've never seen
pacing,
it.
the pacing's great. It looks good.
Mm.
And I'm not sure about historical accuracy, but as a film, Ned Kelly is a gem. Doesn't get talked about a
Wow.
lot.
No.
I'm surprised, even after Heath's passing, it's not a film that tends to come up.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of his better performances.
Is he Ned?
He's
Obviously,
Ned.
Yeah.
He's Ned.
Yeah. And I think it's a stunning film.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's
call.
that's the call for me.
Like that. I've got The Sleeper. Now, 2004, packed year. And I thought I didn't want to go for anything that was obvious. So probably something, foreign film, German film, Downfall,
Oh, the Hitler one.
the Hitler one.
Is that the one they do all the Hitler memes?
Yes, the Hitler memes.
Yeah.
Where he's losing it in the bunker. And they turn that into, he's putting an Uber order together. or
Yeah. Well,
something.
what a,
So,
everything.
Trudel Young, the first final secretary for Adolf Hitler, tells of the Nazi dictator's final days in his Berlin bunker. It is an incredible movie. It is so dark. It is so sad. When they decide that the time is done and they give the cyanide pills to the kids
Oh yeah.
in the bunker, it is so bad.
Yeah. Hardcore.
Whether it's true, whether he's has been living a life in Argentina,
Yeah. Well,
no one knows.
Yeah.
But as a piece of cinema and a piece of history, and actually for really the first movie of its type to be done by the Germans.
yeah.
So this is a German
fair
film.
insight.
This is history's usually told by the victors, but this one is a real, I guess, self-reflection.
Yeah. I suppose
It's heavy.
I have to go back and look at it.
you've
It's
done
excellent.
the Australians doing Ned Kelly. You've done the Germans doing Hitler.
Yeah, there you
And
are.
you're going to get the dud for the year, Damo. What have you got?
I've gone for Ocean's 12.
I've got you back on that.
Yeah, just such a fizzer compared to Ocean's 11.
Do you know why? Do you know the thing that tipped it over the edge for me?
No.
Julia Roberts playing Julia Roberts,
Oh.
but she's
Oh, no.
Danny Ocean's wife.
Yeah,
Because she looks a bit
looks
like her.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah,
But the whole heist,
so meta.
the whole heist was a red herring.
Yeah.
They actually stole the diamond back on the train a couple of days before.
Yeah. Spoilers, but anyway, yeah.
But it was so ridiculous. It was the non-heist movie.
Do you know what's disappointing? Because Ocean's 13's not bad.
I
Ocean's
didn't
13's
want
not
to even.
bad.
I didn't want to even give it a go.
Al
after 12.
Pacino's. Is Al Pacino not in 12 or 13? He's not in 12. Is he? He's in 13.
No, he's not in 12.
Yeah, but Ocean 13 is worth a watch.
You know, Ocean's 11. We did Ocean's 11, and
We did.
I did a very controversial call, and I reckon you're still reeling.
You're talking about, oh God.
Brad Pitt, George Clooney, best looking man in it, Andy Garcia. That was my call.
Yeah.
That's my call.
interesting.
Do you know why?
He's still reeling.
Do you know why?
That's middle-aged.
Straight nose.
He's got beautiful straight nose.
Has he really?
Yeah.
And that does it for you, the symmetry of the face.
Yes. It was
Yeah. I've got to say,
incredible.
I hate that franchise.
You do?
Yeah. I watched
Yeah.
the first one and I thought, it just left me cold. I thought, this is looks like a vanity project. for a bunch
100%
of
is.
Hollywood.
I don't think we rated it super high.
Yeah. And
or
look, I
average.
can't even give you a genuine critique of those films because
Yeah.
I haven't given them a chance.
Well, Andy
But I
Garcia
went to
is
that.
a nice nose.
He's got a nice nose.
Yeah.
That might be enough.
Yeah.
But I went in there and I thought, I just don't see. One of those movies that I thought, I don't know why this needed to exist.
Okay, well, that's harsh. It's a bit like me with Can't Buy Me Love.
Oh, go and wash your mouth.
I have the
episode.
same feeling about Brian Adams and Brian Adams music.
Really?
Yes.
Why do we,
What about
why
Summer?
does-
What about
why
Summer
does
of
the world-
69?
why does the world need a Brian Adams?
Well, not the
Well,
Prince of whatever.
Prince
the
of Thieves.
Prince of Thieves soundtrack
Hey.
is the worst.
Hey.
All for Love.
Oh,
And
that song.
Hey,
Hey,
all for
Run
love.
to
That's
You's a
got
good
Rod
song, though.
Stewart.
Run
and
to You is a
Sting.
good song. I'm
Yeah.
not. Look, he's probably a lovely guy, but from the perspective of music
Mm.
and contribution to popular music, I've always wondered
Well-
if you could, you wouldn't invent Brian
You-
Adams.
I've been told quite a few times that Brian Adams is a bit of a lookalike too.
Really?
Really?
In fact, yeah, and I go, I don't know.
I thought you looked more like the piss boy.
And you look like a bucket of shit.
Oh, well
Old,
played.
what's his name?
History of the World Part 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get that anywhere
No,
now.
I'd say it's been buried along with Blazing Saddles.
No, Blazing Saddles is running high.
Good.
It is because it is the best anti-racism movie of all
Yes,
time,
Yes.
and it is.
Really?
I watch go onto YouTube and just go Blazing Saddles reaction,
Right.
and it's every creed, every color. Everyone's watching it.
Yeah.
Everyone is laughing their heads
Yes.
off at everything.
And I think, to kind of bring it back, when you watch Anchorman, I was sitting watching it thinking, you couldn't make this movie today. The world's not ready for the subtlety of the satire. And yet it's poking fun the whole time at misogyny, men and women
Yeah.
roles in society,
100%.
the way that men compartmentalize women in the workplace. It's putting a finger up to all that.
Yeah,
Well,
But
actually,
it's doing it
you're
with
right.
satire.
absolutely.
And yet an audience today wouldn't
Because they
gravitate to it.
wouldn't get the joke.
No, they wouldn't see that they're actually writing on the side of correcting the wrongs
Yes,
and poking fun at the
I know.
stupidity of
Yeah.
the system.
it's the ones
know?
that are offended are the ones that don't understand the joke.
That's right.
well, I think it's never been more relevant than today, this movie.
I agree.
reckon.
You would never get it out of a major studio.
But on
now.
multiple levels, like not only the male, female, but news itself and news organizations, the
Yes.
most trusted source, and
Yes.
people believing
Yes.
everything they say.
Yes.
Shut up, Ron's talking. So listen, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not corporatized media. It's genuine journalism
Yeah.
in an era where it was all about
Yeah.
the story, rather than the message and the division
That's right.
creation.
I know
into the
it's so
culture.
different. Like I think back to Roger Klimpson and Brian Henderson and all that. You know, like this could be the story of Katrina Lee and who was she with? Tim Webster with on Channel 10.
Yes,
she was like the first anchor I can recall, female, like in the 80s.
Best Australian newsreader of all time for me is Sandra Sully.
Oh,
she's a great sort.
Now,
Warnie liked her.
Now, wait a minute.
Warnie liked her.
Now, wait a minute. Let me
her.
explain. Do you remember the Threadbow disaster?
I do. I was there.
Were you really?
Yeah, I was in
Stuart
Threadbow.
Diver.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was in Threadbow. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I was
incredible.
skiing. I was skiing on the day that the night had happened.
Okay.
In Threadbow.
Wow.
And my mate was staying there. Was staying in Threadbow.
Yep.
Were you nearby? Obviously,
We were staying in. No, we were staying in Jindabyne. We were staying
Right.
in Jindabyne. He was staying in Threadbow. So he, so bad as this sounds, he just went snowboarding because there was no one on the mountain. So the lifts are still run the next day when they were all doing all the shit, but they couldn't kick everyone out.
Yeah.
So he just
We've really veered off.
we had this is a born to watch tangent.
Well, I remember as a journalist and a newsreader and an anchor person, I was only a young guy. I'm watching on the news, and they were live crossing to her, and it was an unfolding story. And I remember watching it, and she was live as it's happening, taking real-time calls on, and she was in this flow state. And I remember that this is a young guy watching that going, and you're good. This is free falling. It's happening now. You're right there. It's happening behind you. There's probably going to be a death toll here.
Yeah.
And she was grounded. And I just remember thinking that was a masterclass in how to go live to camera around a nation and just hold it down. I still think she's one of the best we've ever had.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Attractive too.
you
She's still on
And
in
look,
Sydney, though.
all that, Croaky said all that. He just wanted to ruin it.
That's fair call.
Yeah. Anyway, question time.
Right.
Oh, yep.
Yes. Is Ron Burgundy Will Ferrell's most famous character?
Yes, it is. I think it's his Mount Everest.
Do you think this will be on his tombstone? Here lies Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, because no one remembers Brennan Huff.
No, that's right.
You know, like it or Ricky Bobby.
Yep.
You remember what's the name?
His
the Legend of Ron
headstone should
Burgundy.
read, "Here lies Ron Burgundy, stay classy world."
Yeah,
Yeah.
should, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
That
with you.
would
I
be
think
a
it
bloody
is.
good headstone.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think it is.
And look, I think he knows. He did the Ron Burgundy podcast only in recent times.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He drove the idea of the sequel.
Yeah.
I remember him going out on Fallon and doing late night TV
As Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
and then holding himself in character for the interviews and
Yep.
to varying degrees of comic success.
Yep.
But I thought, he loves this character as much as we love it.
Yeah.
And I think he knows
Yep.
this is all me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so then where does it sit? Where does Anchorman sit in the Ferrell lineup? So you got Elf, Talladega Nights, Blades of Glory, other guys, Step Brothers, Semi-Pro, like, and the list goes on. Like Get Hard, Land of the Lost. Like he's got nearly 100 movies.
Oh, it's definitely right up
Do you
there.
think this
with
is
me.
top 5? This podium,
Yeah,
is this
definitely.
podium Ferrell?
Yeah, definitely up there. Yeah, definitely right up there.
I
Step
go-
Brothers, Blades.
Yeah, I got Anchorman, Step Brothers, Blades. For
Yeah,
me.
yeah. I
In
think
that
that's probably my
order.
top 3.
Yeah.
yeah. Well
Land
done.
of the Lost is garbage.
Oh, terrible. Terrible.
Garbage.
The TV show used to scare the shit out of me as a kid.
Well, that Land of the Giants.
Scared the shit fits you.
Dr. Fitzhugh.
Scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was
There'd always
scary.
be a cat.
Yeah,
you know?
or the bobby pins with the bit of string. You know, they'd be
Yes.
as climbing up the
Or
rope,
climbing a phone.
Yes. Or a giant ant.
Yes. I love that you go straight to Dr. Fitzhugh. We would do
He
that.
was
at
a
home.
dickhead.
Yeah, he was. But something about you always have to have a painful doctor character. Like,
Yes,
Yeah.
Dr.
"Oh,
Smith.
dear sweet William.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a theme happening there, wasn't
Yeah,
there?
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we're obviously, are we to believe that Champ is a closet homosexual?
I think so.
And if that is the case, the news team is super progressive for the 70s
It is.
because they just accept him. They're like, oh, Champ,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's a closet homosexual, right?
Well, maybe there's something going on there that he's talking so much smack about the opposite sex as a means of repressing his own
yeah.
desire to live with Ron.
Yes.
You know, who knows?
Yeah.
But again, that screenplay, if you go back and look at that film, all those characters are beautifully designed.
Yeah.
There's
It's a great team.
They all make clear intentions, and there's not a weak link in that primary cast.
No, there's not.
It's a perfectly cast comedy.
Yeah. No, very funny. All right, now I've already mentioned it, and I've heard differing opinions on the jazz flute scene. Are we in or are we out on the jazz flute scene?
No, I like it.
You like it? I like it.
It was funny.
I like it.
It was funny.
Croxy?
I think it's one of the best things in there in terms of there's two moments, right? There's the acid-looking dream in the lovemaking scene with those two.
Pleasure Town.
Pleasure Town. They're on a trip to Pleasure Town.
Yeah.
That's its own short film within a film. And then you've got the jazz flute scene, which I think is the same. It's almost the same trick. It's a short film within a major film, and they're fully committed. That jazz flute scene is complete absurdist.
Yes.
And then you get into that acid dream sequence with the animation.
Yeah.
They're two different things happening completely, which I think they're two of the two big strong points in that film.
And that dream scene. Look at that beautiful rainbow down there.
Yes.
Do me on it.
I fucking love you.
Jeez.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, that. Look, short and sharp question time tonight. Now, born to watch only fans.
Oh,
we've got a voicemail.
Oh, is it Tara from Canada?
It's not Tara from Canada.
She's
given up.
She's like a 2 out of 10, and she rings in every now and then. She's rooted Morgs once or twice.
Is she real?
She's real.
She's a real person.
She's a real person.
Then why are you speaking about her like this? That's what I want to ask.
No, because she might be fake as well.
She's probably a 1 out of 10 then. Yeah, not a 2. I was exaggerating.
She's 2 because she might have 2 cags.
So has she called you, has she?
Yeah, she left a voicemail.
Oh, so we've got another voicemail.
We've got another voicemail tonight,
let's have
so
a
listen in.
Hi there. Just finished listening to the brand new Snatch episode. What a great movie. Great debut by Paul. I'm Arthouse Glasby. Yes, I am a fanboy and not ashamed to say it. Just wanted to say, though, Whitey, I'm going to contact the Department of Children's Affairs. You shouldn't be subjecting your beautiful daughter Isabel to that piece of rubbish TV series, Friends. Rock on.
He doesn't like Friends.
Harsh.
Wow.
He'd like the Rembrandts, though, wouldn't he, in their song?
Well, I think he sort of coined the Born to Watch theme off the Rembrandts.
That's right. Yes.
Remember we were singing that on Tropic Thunder?
That's his number one hit song, the Born to Watch song.
With mates. But
Rembrandt's number one song is off the Friends theme. Friends theme.
Yeah.
Wow, he's not a Schwimmer fan.
No, but what he is a huge swim fan of Paul Glasby.
Yep.
And if anything happens to him, like if he goes missing, I'm going straight to Adam Strang as the culprit.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you reckon Strangles used
Amber
to go...
Alert.
Okay. Did he used to go to Insomniacs?
I reckon he probably did.
Those clubs that opened in the day on a Sunday?
4 a.m. So we had a guy on last week. He's in Sheffield. He was a DJ in Sheffield, Croxy.
Yeah.
The club that he would play at opened at 4 a.m. and he would go on at 10 a.m. in the morning.
So it's a recovery club.
Apparently.
The day after.
Day club,
apparently.
Just keep going.
Yeah, crazy.
Yep. Now, people, it's that time of the show where I ask you all to press pause and share the episode to your friends, anyone that loves Anchorman, and there's plenty out there. I'm sure they'd love to hear us wax lyrical about this Will Ferrell comedy. Leave a voicemail like Strangles. You'll get played on the show. Send us an email. Do whatever. We're here to give, and you'll be definitely heard of on the podcast. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We might start with our guest today. Croxy, what do you got for good?
Can I smash out the 3 things that I love about this movie?
Please do.
Good. The production design's impeccable. This looks like the period.
It does.
And there's no moment where you come out of it. I understand that they shot it in LA, and the whole idea is that they're in San Diego, right? San Diego. The production design's fantastic.
Yeah.
The wardrobe's impeccable.
Yeah. Some great suits.
Some good wigs.
Yeah.
Some great suits.
Great wigs.
Moustaches.
I think the editing, I mentioned it before. Go back and have a look at the editing. That's got a lot going on. The production design's great. Normally when you watch background talent, you can usually see people mugging for the camera or not quite aware of what the stakes are on the scene, so their facial expressions are a little bit out, or there's an eye glance at the camera. The background talent, when I was watching this on the weekend, the background talent are great.
They're focused.
And there's lots of them. You
Yeah.
have a look at those newsroom scenes where there's all that madness going on. And it's an older group of background actors too. You know, some of them in their 60s and up. And everyone's committed.
Yep.
Everyone's on. No one's mugging for the camera. No one's pulling attention. I think that was a very well coordinated background piece. Everyone's in fine form. The wardrobe, again, is great. It's a beautifully edited film, and I think the production design's impeccable.
Okay. Well played. Damo?
The side boob.
Oh, it's quality side boob.
Christina Applegate in that is some great side boob.
Unbelievable side boob.
In that apron.
The apron. What scene are we
Oh,
talking about?
you know what? Did you watch this on Plex?
On Foxtel.
Okay. Yeah, there's a side. There's when they dream about what's going in
Before
the future.
so isn't that one maybe wasn't on the version you watched, but
I
it's
don't
in.
know.
She's wearing like an apron. She's
naked.
He's dreaming about what it would be like to go home to my wife
Family.
and 2 boys.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. We obviously watch movies differently, because you're saying to me, it might have not been in the version you watched. No, I'm watching saying, well, I love the wardrobe design, the production design, and I love the background extras. I thought were very well organized. And you go, I love the side boob.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're watching this movie with different eyes. I feel like I should go back and try and find something like that.
We'll send you the
'Cause
side
I'm
boob.
out of step.
Yeah.
We'll send you the side
Sorry,
boob.
mate. You go on.
No, you know when they cut like right at the beginning of the montage, like the ad for the news
Yes,
team.
Oh,
yes.
Like, you know, and they
Yeah.
all look up at the
All
same
walking.
time and the walking.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
But Brian Fantana on the streets,
Yes.
and he takes the sunnies off,
Yes.
and he's around like a bunch of blokes singing
Yeah.
around a
Yeah.
fireplace.
It's like Rocky.
It's the Rocky.
It's like Rocky.
Exactly like
Yeah.
Rocky. It's like on the streets,
Yeah.
and it was these blokes singing
Yeah.
in harmonies.
Do 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 do.
On the
Take it
streets.
back.
It's like, yeah, man, you're on the streets. The Sex Panther by Odeon is still one of my favorite. Yeah. You know, it's one of the greatest things ever. I love Sex Panther by Odeon, and obviously the smell. But someone that we didn't mention.
Sorry, it smells like the inside of a prosthetic leg.
Yeah, I know.
It smells like Bigfoot's dick.
It smells like burnt hair on a turret.
Yeah. The Vince Vaughn.
Yep.
I thought Vince Vaughn was the best actor in this whole movie.
His laugh.
He's
I know.
overacting.
So where did you get that suit, huh? At the toilet shop?
When he was circling around the gang on the bikes.
Yeah. I hate
You
you,
know,
Ron Burgundy.
And they all sort of they all, you know, get their group, and but Vince Vaughn just holding the ladder at the end, and everything about him. Get off, dog. Oh,
His laugh on the toilet shop line is great.
he,
It's just great.
mate, I thought he was the best actor in
Yeah.
the whole movie, because everything he did was just so over the top.
Yeah.
He was freaking awesome. And the last thing was the prank phone calls. The prank phone calls with
Oh my god.
with Champ Kind
Chimp.
to Christina Applegate or Victoria Corningstone,
Yeah. God.
and they were giggling like
Talking to the doctor.
2 idiots.
Says you're knocked
yeah,
up.
Yeah, you're pregnant, and you need to quit. You need to leave. Or I'm from Russia. I'm the studio exec. You need to go to Russia now.
Yeah,
Just
pack your bags
now.
now. Pack your bags now.
And
That-
you can see they're not scripted.
No, they're not.
Oh,
They're not.
Because she's half laughing and she takes the call. I'm sure he's gone. I mean, what do I know? But I'm sure he's gone. I've got an idea.
Yeah.
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 It's 2 shots.
Yeah.
I'm going to call.
And Champ Kind's giggling
Giggling.
like
Yeah.
an idiot.
Yeah, it's great.
There's my goods.
Okay. We've already mentioned the cast is great, and Ed Harkin, like,
Oh.
incredible. The start, he's straight in, like Ron warming up at the start and doing it, you know, drinking a scotch, you know, and just
Oh,
the whole warm
I
up.
don't believe you're on. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
The
You like
Human
me.
Torch was denied a bank loan. Those opening and closing credits that bookend the film are just perfect.
Yes.
Those closing credits. I know we're jumping ahead, but
Yeah.
when you get the moment of Burt Reynolds and Sally Field and
Yes.
Smokey and the
Yeah.
Bandit, and it's a deep cut
Yeah.
for people that just love film.
Yeah.
And it's a wink to the audience to say, "Can you see what we're doing?
Yeah.
We're doing this.
Yeah.
And remember when you liked this?
Yeah.
Because this was happening in this era as well."
Yeah.
I just love that. Am I boring? You're yawning.
No, no, no.
But I thought that was a great
Yeah,
little tip of the
it is.
hat.
Yeah.
And it's probably the only time in the film there's a wink to the audience to kind of say, "You see what we're doing here? Yeah, we're doing this."
Yeah,
Yep.
very
You
good.
know?
Very good. The flirting attempts with Veronica Corningstone. So you've got the send her away to Russia, but Champ fails, gets punched in the nuts. Whammy! You trying to touch my breast?
Yeah,
Right?
that was
And
hilarious.
and then Sex Panther,
Yeah.
and then the Pants Party.
The
You know
Pants
the
Party,
difference
yeah,
in
you
the
wanna come
Pants
to the
Party?
Pants Party?
I have a
Yeah.
party in my pants.
But-
You're invited.
But then
It's the
the
pleats.
but then
The
the
pleats.
Mr. Burgundy, you have a massive erection.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
That's in my quotes.
What are you talking about?
No, that's just the pleats.
Yeah. Don't act like you're not impressed.
That's what you talk about in the crotchal
Yeah,
area.
oh my god! I thought that
You
was,
have a massive erection.
Him
Mr.
working out
Burgundy.
is still genius.
1001.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Oh, you've caught me. I was just
Just hear that? Just
On the
hear that?
guns.
I've done 1,000 of these.
Working on the guns.
I'm just working the ubulus.
Oh my god! Oh, it's so bad. And then I laugh at the man he punted Baxter, right?
Oh.
I think so. He throws the thing. Jack Black comes out. This is happening. Kicks the dog, and then him in the telephone booth. The man he punted Baxter. Ron, stop it!
What
Talk
is
to
it?
me.
What's the line? I'm in a
Glass case of
a
emotion.
glass case of emotion. Hey,
So-
a little footnote for you. You know that the name Baxter, you know where that comes from? Comes from Ted Baxter, who played Ted Knight in the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Oh, my God.
You know who Ted
So
Knight is?
it's a nod of the
No.
head.
Don't sell yourself short, Judge. You're a tremendous slouch.
Oh,
He's Judge Smales from Caddyshack.
the
There
best.
you go.
The best.
So that was a little tip of the hat to him,
Yeah.
Baxter.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Very good. Okay, bad. Damo, we'll start with you. Anything for
a bit
bad?
hard, but Will Ferrell's stomach hair.
He should not be taking his shirt off.
I,
He's got a massive scar.
but I don't know who has hair.
He's got weird hair. He's got. You know what he's got? He's got pubes on his body.
It is. It's like all over his body.
Yeah.
It's a weird coating of hair.
It's tight.
Chest. It's little ringlets
It's tight. It's
all
pube-
over his
Ringlets, they are. They're
Yeah,
ringlets.
ringlets
It's like
all over-
baby hair that you
Yeah.
cut and keep.
Yeah.
Look, but I don't know. I think maybe it just slowed down a little bit in the movie. I think when he did,
I think there is a bit of flat. There's a couple flat.
like when he
spots.
gets on the milk and he, he's sort of having his breakdown and he can't talk, and it might just slow down a little bit. But other than that, I'm pulling out. I'm a real scavenger hunt to find things that
Yeah,
aren't
you're
too
right.
flash.
Croxy, anything bad?
Will Ferrell's got terrible. He's got shithouse lower teeth.
Oh, I was going to
yeah.
say I've
Yeah,
got teeth.
The close up on the diving board. I love the fact that he owns it.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love the fact he hasn't had his teeth corrected for camera.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the charm of Will
Yeah.
Ferrell.
Yep.
Yep.
You seem to get a sense that he's real.
Yep.
So there's that close up where he lets the teeth sit there for all
Man,
their
there's
worth,
some jag.
and then it goes
yeah.
wide onto the diving board.
Cannonball.
Yeah. So Ferrell's got some rough teeth.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
are bad. They are bad. Look, you've sort of covered most of what I was going to say. There's a few flat spots. And as I said, I probably didn't enjoy the movie as much this time watching it because I'm trying to pick.
Mm.
And that when I couldn't find anything, then it sort of was a bit
It's hard to
disappointing.
find.
Yeah.
Hard to find bad. Hard to find ugly.
no. I've got ugly. I've got an ugly.
Okay.
Croxy, got anything for ugly?
No, I think I didn't bump into any lag in the pacing,
Yep.
and this was one of the viewings I've enjoyed the most. I actually came at it and rediscovered it. I never really was a fan of that third act too much with the fighting and the bears, but then when I sat in it in terms of structure on this last viewing, I saw the callbacks to the line about the menstrual blood and the bears being attracted,
Yeah.
and the bears
Oh.
come back at the back end,
Yeah.
and there's a resolution. And I actually found that bear sequence again very well edited, genuinely funny, and you get Vince Vaughn kissing Ron at the
I
end.
hate you,
Yeah.
Ron.
I hate
Burgundy,
you, Ron, but I respect
but I
you.
damn well
Yes.
respect you.
And the kiss.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's this resolving of all these relationships. And I started to watch it and go, oh, this is smart. This movie's smarter than you first think it is.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I didn't bump into too much that I found, ugly
Okay.
or
No,
Perfect.
annoying.
Damo?
no, I didn't
Nothing?
find any ugly in this.
Okay. This has got nothing to do with this movie, but it's related to it. The sequel is an
Yep.
abomination.
No, I'm not going. I
It
didn't
is
mind
an
it.
abomination.
It's nowhere near as good.
Oh, it's not even. You can't even. Yeah, the best part of the sequel is the start when they play Crisscross, Ride Like the Wind.
God, it's a good
I was
song.
sitting in the cinema watching that, and they started playing that song, and I was like, I was in. They had me, and within 5 minutes, I was like, this is terrible.
I've watched it once and I agree with your
Oh.
sentiments completely.
It's terrible.
It's what happens, right? When they go back to the well
Yeah.
and try and fake the thing they weren't faking when they first did.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so it's that law of diminishing returns.
that's such a great point.
Yeah.
That you can't capture lightning in a bottle twice.
No.
and sometimes you just same as Coming to America. The second one is
Yeah.
Abomination, and you just cannot capture the lightning in a bottle. And I think that, although in saying that, the greatest of all of the outtakes, which is the frothy ejaculate, comes from Anchorman 2.
Sure.
But if the best thing in the movie is an outtake,
I hear you.
it's travesty.
But you look back through history, right? You can name on one hand the
Sequels.
the sequels and the
Yeah.
best trilogies.
Yep.
That you can go back to. If you forget Godfather Part 3, but you look at 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Empire.
Yeah.
But it's a very hard trick to pull off more than once. I still maintain that Planet of the Apes is the most recent. Forget the one that was The Kingdom.
Yep.
But that trilogy is perfect for me.
It's great.
Perfect. But I think it comes from this idea of repeating the same tricks. The audience can't be fooled twice. I think you've got to go somewhere, do something different and bold. But it's a shame, because it would have been better just to have left that as a time capsule. That's why I've always hoped there'd never be a sequel to Napoleon Dynamite. I just leave some things be.
I don't think there will be now.
I don't think there will
No,
be
there
either.
won't be now.
But just leave some things be as they
sure.
are. Anyway,
sure.
Yeah.
But I think that Anchorman 2, Champ Kind with his chicken shop, and it's all bat shaped, and he's talking about it's the chicken of the cave.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's no other movie, and I always say, as a bit of a trivia thing, well, what movie does Harrison Ford turn into a werewolf?
Mate, it's a shit movie.
Anchorman 2.
It's a shit movie.
I know, but no one.
I'll tell you what,
knows.
turns into the Red Hulk in the new Captain America.
Oh,
coming
does
out.
he?
He's the Red Hulk.
Oh, wow.
And in the trailer,
He'd be a
he turns into Red Hulk,
85-year-old Hulk.
and then someone says, "These things come in red now."
Oh, God.
Marvel.
Clever.
It's taking me right back to, they can fly now?
Yeah.
They can fly? I'm just sitting there, oh, guys, come on.
Yep.
You watch all your childhood dreams and longings just burning to the ground.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Oh,
Well, 3 was the one that
3?
really burned it to the ground.
Yeah. I still remember going to the cinema to see that. And the most recent was the Netflix one, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of watched it limp along.
Okay.
It was fine.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It's okay.
But then I thought, yeah, but fine doesn't mean necessary.
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't
just thought,
unnecessary.
Again, 1 and 2, great.
Sure.
2 could be arguably better than 1.
2's great.
right?
Yeah.
It's but it's very rare. It's very, very rare.
Can I just ask your favorite sequel of all time?
Of all time, I think it's Empire. I love Godfather 2, but I think it's probably Empire. But oh god, there's some, nowadays you got Lord of the Rings, you got The Dark Knight, you've got
Yeah.
there's a lot of quality
true.
sequels nowadays,
Yeah.
right?
That much too.
And
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
no, but there sort of are good sequels now, but not great ones. And I think if I think about what's my favorite, it's probably Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's almost note for note perfect, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh well, it is. I think it is.
Mm.
That and Godfather 2 are the ones that really Terminator 2, which is excellent. But I think Godfather 2 and Empire are in the final match,
Yeah, there you go.
and they're punching out.
What about you?
It probably, yeah. Well, Dark Knight, Empire, Two Towers. Yeah, those 3.
Yeah, okay.
Mad Max 2. Yeah, those 4.
Yeah, see, there's Mad Max 2. So when you think about it, there are some very good sequels, but there's some shit ones.
Yeah.
There's some shit ones.
You know when it's done for the money or if it's done for the art.
For sure.
You can always tell.
Rambo 2.
Yeah, there we go.
That's done for the money.
Is there a song in that? Can we get a song in that one?
No, it's terrible. The song at the end of Rambo 2 is terrible, but it's a long road. Dan Hill from First Blood.
Because if anyone knows it, you know it. do you know it?
I know Jerry Goldsmith's song is the first score,
Right.
and that is unbelievably good.
Doesn't Frank Stallone get a song in the first one?
Not in First Blood.
Well, he sings
No.
in Rockies.
In Rocky's the first one.
Ah.
There are 2 kinds of love that you ought to know.
Brian Fantana would have
There
been
are
hanging around there.
2 kinds of love.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's do 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 do.
Yeah.
Take me back.
That's the one where.
And then Adrian tries to sing it in Rocky 3.
do,
A do
do,
do
do,
dee. No, it's do 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 do. You dumb bitch.
Oh,
A do
man.
do dee do. Dan's. Well, it's actually Damo's quick fire.
Rightio, here we go. Quickfire number 1. That's not a knife. There is shitloads of
Wow.
popular culture in this first one.
Yeah.
That's not a knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife. A scene that's passed over into a popular culture. You'd have a couple.
Sex Panther.
By Odeon.
You Stay Classy, San Diego.
Yeah.
Whale's Vagina.
Oh, that's yep.
I love San Diego. means whale's vagina.
And once again, Christina Applegate's face.
Yes.
Yes. I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
Let's agree to disagree.
Yeah, I know.
What about when in Rome? Well, that really doesn't
Oh.
work here.
Like all these things.
That's right.
You got popular culture things.
Yeah, there's a bunch. I mean, you can go on forever.
Yeah.
But I always love, and I've used it a lot over the years, is my office smells of many leather-bound books. I'm kind of a big deal.
I'm kind of a big
That
deal.
whole piece
Yeah.
is great. And
Yeah.
then the way that he goes back to the straw in that scene with the, I want to be on you. Please, can I just start that again and just do this all over? And then goes back, she exits, and they leave it on for just a moment. And before he goes to the straw, it's like, I want to be on you.
I want to be on you. I'm sure you've mentioned that to me a heap of times.
It's very funny.
Back in the day, I want to be on you. It's like, well, okay. I mean, I love Lamp.
Yeah.
I love Lamb.
There's,
Brick killed a guy.
it is actually.
Well, that escalated
this
quickly.
is riddled. This
Yeah.
is riddled with popular culture.
Well, that
All
escalated
right.
quickly.
Here's a bit of a tough one. The Burt Young Award for the biggest douchebag.
I got one.
Croaks, have you got any douchebags?
It's Champ kind.
Oh,
I think it's Champ.
Okay.
I think the whole scene in the office, at how he's describing what he would do
Oh yeah.
if he was left.
Ed loves it though.
And he's kind of like
Fred Willard
the way he's
laughed.
laughing, and then when he stops and the door opens.
Yeah.
He's brilliant in this movie.
So good.
But I think the douchebag is Champ.
Could be. Yes, definitely.
I got Tim Robbins,
Oh, yeah.
I
public
agree.
TV news anchor,
Yeah.
pushed her in,
Corningstone in.
was
Yep.
just a bit of a dickhead. Shit hair.
Holding his pipe
His
the whole
pipe.
time during the fight.
But and he tapped his pipe and his baseball bat to clear
That's
it out
right.
too.
That's right.
Just little. Just
Yeah.
Great.
Tim Robbins, yes, and Champ, very good. That'll do. Well, where's Mantooth? He was He was.
That
Good.
was all right.
He was great.
He's got a
yeah.
redemptive story.
Let's keep the mothers out of this.
Yeah. She's a saint.
Dorian Mantooth's a saint.
This is a tough one. How could this have been a 5-minute movie? It couldn't.
No, we glossed over that one. I think.
Yeah,
I couldn't do
It's
it.
hard with comedies.
Poor sporting prowess. Anyone that looked like a bit unco, a bit sort of douchey.
Well, Brick taking a grenade to a knife fight. And just holding it there.
Yeah, he just
And I love just that little line with Ron going, "Where did you get a grenade, Brick?" It's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
it's just crazy.
No one can really fight in the brawl.
No.
And Ron's cannonball.
Oh, wasn't that good?
He's sort of he
Not
looks a
enough
bit gawky on the entry.
I'm telling you that there's a fire burn in that fight sequence. I think it's one of the best fire burns on camera.
because he's not wearing a
No,
it's his skin.
there's no CG that I
Yeah,
can see.
yeah.
And I looked at it the other week and I went, wow, that's a hell of a fire burn. He's moving to camera.
Yeah,
You get all the
See
face.
yeah.
Normally it's
Flame up his
shrouded,
neck. Yeah,
and he's completely on fire. And I remember thinking, as funny as all that is, that's a well executed stunt.
yeah.
And I don't know if I've seen a better one on film.
Yeah.
I'd argue if anyone can find one, I think that's one of the better fire burns.
Yeah, it was
It's his
pretty,
whole body.
pretty clear,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
In of all films, in full daylight.
Yes.
And there's also a great stunt, beautifully edited, nicely shot in that fight sequence where I don't know who it is, but someone throws someone into the air and into the windscreen of a car.
Oh yes.
and it's a long. The joke is it's a long time in the air.
Yeah.
But the wide shot, I think it is when the guy goes into the windscreen. That's a good stunt.
Yeah.
It looks good on camera.
That was that fight scene was hilarious, and we'll go back to popular culture. That escalated quickly.
Yes.
That I've said that plenty of times,
Yeah.
and I never really remembered. And I think, did it come from this?
Absolutely
It
did.
must have. Yeah.
Absolutely did.
How
Well,
did you go with the cameos in there?
Oh,
The Ben Stillers.
Yeah, it's funny. isn't it?
Polizia.
What's the guy?
Luke Wilson.
Imagine trying to make those movies now where you're appropriating the culture and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stiller's got a history of that.
He does.
Yeah, it does.
Hasn't
yeah.
been cancelled though. He still
No.
thrives.
But he looks like a Spaniard, a Mexican or whatever. But
I'm not going to comment on that.
it was so funny. Yeah,
It
mate.
is funny.
Polizia, when they ran away at the
Oh
end.
my god. And they're like all scattering in all
Yeah,
different
everyone's
parts.
like
Yeah.
little kids scattering. Okay, yeah. Righty. An additional scene. Well, we sort of discussed that a bit earlier with Fred Willard, maybe to go and see his kid. So his kid was in trouble for having German porn,
Yes.
being on acid,
Yes.
and having a gun at assembly or whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was a bow and arrow.
Or was it? Was it?
I can't
He's
remember.
a troubled kid.
Yeah, he's a troubled kid. But that little through line in the comedy,
I know.
I thought it would have been nice if there was a resolve meeting the kid going to the school. Anyway, yeah.
That was.
Ed Harkin.
Ed Hardy,
Yeah,
one of the greats.
he was awesome. Whitey's Brad Pitt best looking. Who? Oh, come
it's
on, this is
Veronica Corningstone.
Veronica
Side boob.
Corningstone. I think, it's definitely Veronica. Christina Applegate.
I go Paul Rudd. I think Paul Rudd.
He's a handsome
Sexy
man.
man.
He looks good. The camera likes him.
You love the stench,
The Sex
the
Panther.
pungency.
Yeah.
What was his other? London Gentleman
Yeah.
was one of his
There's
other
another one
ones.
called Lime
something
Pop.
or
in there.
Blackbeards or something.
Blackbeard's Ghost.
Something like that. Yeah, but God, he had a collection.
He did.
You never
Oh, here we
cease
go.
to amaze me.
Yeah, never cease to amaze me. What cologne you gonna do? What cologne you gonna go with, London Gentleman?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, hold on. Blackbeard's Delight. No, she gets a special cologne. It's called Sex Panther by Odeon. It's illegal in 9 countries.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good. It's quite pungent. Oh yeah, it's a formidable scent. Stings the nostrils in a good way. Yeah. Brian, I'm going to be honest with you. That smells like pure gasoline. They've done the studies, 60% of the time it works every time.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, let's just go see if we can make this little kitten purr.
That literally is my favorite
It's so
scene
funny.
in the whole
It's
movie.
And then
gold.
I love it at the end when the zookeeper comes up and says, "Is that Sex Panther you're wearing?"
Yeah, a little callback.
Yeah.
It's such a well-written film.
Yeah.
And Judd Apatow's, we should remember Judd Apatow's in this.
He's involved in this.
And he actually gets one of those lines.
He's Bigfoot's dick. It
Yes,
smells like
there we
Bigfoot's
go.
dick. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great,
Yeah. He's good. He's very funny, Judd Apatow.
Oh, that's fantastic.
isn't it?
Smells like Bigfoot's dick.
Okay, any lookalikes in this movie? Are there any Morgs-alikes apart from Ron
Oh, yeah,
Burgundy?
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins, yes.
Tim Robbins is a dead set
with that
Morgs-like.
hair, public TV
Yeah.
station,
Shit teeth.
that big
Skinny
fro.
arms. Tall. Ugly.
Yeah,
Morgs like.
definitely Morgs-like. I
Anyone
tell you
else?
what, those bears were big.
Big bears.
They
Kodiak bears are
God,
big,
they're
man.
big.
And a little bit of research I did. I heard that there was a near miss with someone. I didn't get the full story,
Oh.
but it was a hairy.
Were they menstruating at the time?
Could
have been.
But
Attracts
apparently
bears.
it had some complexities about it because
Yeah.
that's actually a good looking scene.
Yes.
Those bears hold up.
There's a few bears.
Brick riding the bear.
I'm riding a furry tractor.
Yeah, I'm on the furry tractor. It's brilliant.
So dumb.
Anyway, that's
He's
it for
so
Quickfire.
Okay, well done.
Hey, can I just mention Will Ferrell's playing a character there based on a guy initially called Bill Curtis. Apparently he was inspired. Bill Curtis is the guy that's doing the narrator role.
Ah,
And
okay.
Why I dug in, because he says at the end, before we get to the closing credits, the narrator says that Ron went on to take my job and become
Of course.
the anchor at World Press, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I thought, well, hang on, my job?
Yeah.
That's a very specific thing to say for the narrator. Now, why are we hearing from the narrator? So I did a bit of research. It was Bill Curtis, an American television journalist and television producer, narrator or narrator and news anchor for many years.
Here we
There
go.
you go.
So apparently he signed on for that. And what I read was he refused. One thing he refused was to use the word penis or something he had.
It's a fair clause.
And he was like,
He
"Oh, I
much
won't be-
preferred cock.
he won't be
Yeah.
cockburn."
Anyway.
So I just thought that was an interesting thing that we
Do
had.
you, know, do you know what you've done there, Croxy? You've started listening to this.
You've segued into
Oh, have
listen to
I?
and I
this.
love that.
Well, thank God for the compendium.
Exactly
Yes.
right. You've started listening to this, which I love.
I've created a segue for
I
you.
love
Yeah.
your keenness. But generally, what happens at the start of listening to this
Uh-huh.
You say
Snobs report. What have you got?
Snorbs report. Now this is because after
This is the serious part of the
this,
podcast.
yeah, it is. Well, an investigative journalist.
Yeah.
What, what's that again?
Exactly.
Don't worry. It's been on 3 times now, and I've never said it right once. But this is where I go deep, as a journalist, into find the real story.
Uh-huh.
So any female that's been in this movie,
Uh-huh.
what movie previously has she been in where she got a snorbs out? So this is like it's serious stuff.
This is a high watermark in movie podcasting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is it.
So in the because I really came up with a fizzer the other week because we did Misery
Mhm.
and Kathy Bates in about Schmidt. It was a really horrible Snorbs report. This week's not as bad though.
Okay.
So we've got Renee Weldon. Now she's described as the petite brunette. So at the party at the
start,
beginning,
when she
said Ron, I've had
brushes
a
up.
massive crush on you.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go somewhere. Well, she was in a movie called Walnut Creek in 1996, rated R.
Oh, I like that.
Snorbs.
Snorbs. Okay.
Yeah. And then we've got Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, she's a bit of a snobs.
She's really become so she's in a TV series called Mrs. Fletcher. It was in 2019, so she's getting them out all the time in that.
Okay.
And she's in a threesome with this real skinny looking Morgs type looking bloke
Oof.
and this fairly chungamunga sort of girl, and they're all in the nud.
Really?
Yeah.
In the
A
nud.
real.
I haven't heard in the nud since '87.
Yeah, that's right. This
Yeah.
is, yeah.
In
thank
the
you.
nud.
Thank you.
No, I
Thank
think
you.
it, please.
And it's a threesome, but yeah, Catherine Hahn snorbs out in that show. That's it for this week's Snorbs Report.
Snobs report.
Cock burnout.
You're almost making that same sound of the Bionic Man when he would jump.
Oh, yes.
When they
They
jumped in the
use
bear pit.
When they jump in the bear pit.
Maybe we could use that.
They had different sounds. So they had a Wonder Woman sound in there somewhere when
they?
they changed.
Do, do,
When he
do, do.
changed in
Wonder
his
Woman.
when he got changed when he was the bum
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
And
then
he went
he
to the
went in
bathroom.
and he came out in his gear.
I don't remember catching that.
It was somewhere, but
Yeah.
Wonder Woman was in it, and $6 Million
yeah, the
Man
little
was in it.
$6 million
Yeah.
man. I love those little period notes
Yes,
or nods
Yeah.
back to the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's subtle but great.
Definitely. Okay, mate. We'll stay with you. Anything else for?
Well, Christina
listeners?
Applegate was in Tina Yoder's band in Family
Oh
Ties.
my God.
So there was an episode of Family Ties where
Brilliant.
Tina Yoder is the singer, and
Yes.
Applegate's on keyboards
I've
at the
seen
back.
this.
And Skippy Handelman, one of the greats, Mark Price, he is dancing beside the stage, and
Yeah.
everyone's get blown on.
together.
But well, they weren't singing that. But Tina,
years.
Skippy danced a bit too erratic and landed
Oh.
into the speaker, and yeah,
Amp. Break the
crashed-
amp.
destroyed the amp. Yep. So that was it. But the other bit was the jazz flute, Aqualung.
Aqualung.
Jethro
Yes,
Tull. Do you guys
Jethro
like
Tull,
Jethro Tull?
yeah.
I love Jethro Tull.
Not a fan.
Aquaman. Aqualung is to me kind of like a Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
The changes in that song are so incredible. I absolutely love that. It was so good to see. There's not too many rock bands that have a jazz flute.
Mm.
Mm.
So I think it's good nod
I'll
there.
go
to
back and give that a
Jethro
listen.
Tull. I love
Go
Aqualung,
back, have a listen to Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
Aqualung.
mate. It's a interesting. Aqualung is a person
Yeah.
who
Dear me.
sitting on a park bench eyeing little girls with bad intent. Snot is running down his nose.
Oh, he's a baddie. He's a
Greasy
pedo.
thing. He's going to the Salvo Army. He's hanging down the park. He's a weirdo.
He's a
Aqualung.
pedo.
Yeah, he's a real weirdo.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
That's
but God, it's a good song.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
Incredible
I
song.
should go back and have a listen.
Croaky, anything?
What are we talking about?
Listen,
Listen
to
to
this.
I think it's got a stellar soundtrack. This whole album,
Yeah.
from start to finish, sounds like the period.
Yeah.
Even there's little bits and pieces and musical transitions there that you're not really catching that sound like AM radio of the time. Ending with Kansas and
Oh.
Wayward Son.
God, that's a good
It's
song.
perfect.
Good
Yeah.
song.
I just think it's a very underrated.
Carry
Score
on my
right throughout.
wayward son. I only heard it in the trailer. I didn't
It's
pick
end
it up in the
credits.
movie.
It's in the end
okay,
credits,
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
With the blooper reel.
Right.
And then you get that last little moment at the end where they're all walking off camera. And I think Will Ferrell says something, they all start laughing, and he says something like, "Oh my God, this is so stupid." And
Yes.
then they fade to black. And I remember thinking, that's perfect. They're laughing at it
They
themselves
get it. Yeah.
just in the last moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Great stuff.
The Mexican restaurant that Veronica goes to with the girls is named Escupamos un su alimento. In English, it
Well done.
means we spit on your food.
Oh,
That's
my
hilarious.
God.
That's hilarious.
So, as I say, like, lots of improvisation, sometimes up to 20 different versions of reaction lines, trying to figure out, which was best and whatever popped in their head. So originally, co-writer and director Adam McKay, the first draft of the script was a story about a plane load of news anchors who crashed in the mountains and discovered the plane which they collided was carrying monkeys and martial arts equipment, leading to a battle between cannibalistic newsmen and star-throwing monkeys.
What was that?
That was the
brilliant.
original
Yes.
screenplay, and it's now evolved to this.
That's an incredible
Yeah.
screenplay.
So Amy Poehler was cut.
Yeah.
She was in this movie. She was cut.
Oh, she
Yeah, so I don't know what role she
probably.
played.
Yeah, okay.
Just another. It would have been something for the Snorbs report.
I heard James
Yeah.
Spader was up for the
Yeah.
Steve Carell role as
As
well.
Brick Tamlin.
Well, the first draft screenplay, Champ Kind, John C. Riley.
Yeah, definitely.
Brick Tamblyn was Chris Parnell, who's Ed Harkin's right-hand man. Brian Fantana, Ben Stiller.
Huh.
Yeah.
Ed Harkin, Ed Harris.
Oh, yeah.
Garth Holiday, whoever that. Garth is who's Garth? Garth's another guy that's in the studio. that sort of abuses him when he says his poop mouth. Right? It was Dan Aykroyd, and Frank was Alec Baldwin.
Right.
So there's quite a few things. Also, there was going to be another news member, Marshall Connors, and William H. Macy was suggested for the
He
part.
would have been
William
great.
H. Macy would be brilliant.
Yeah. Did you find, doing a little bit of research, I don't know if you guys aren't Paul Thomas Anderson fans, are you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Well, apparently he saw the script and helped this thing get a green light. And apparently what I'd read was that he was saying in Hollywood circles, I would do something with these guys in a heartbeat.
Yep.
Because this is a great script.
Mm.
And apparently that helped with studios going, okay, we'll take a look. Let's look at funding this thing. Yeah. Apparently he was a big advocate for getting this thing made.
Wow. Doesn't relate to anything that
he does. No, does it?
No, but he's great. Okay, and then so when the studio monitor shows the rolling credits when Ron and Veronica are having their argument, and it's sort of just in credited writers there are John Hamm and Adam Scott, who are good mates with Paul Rudd. So their names are in there. It says writers John Hamm, Paul,
like
Adam
as the
Scott.
credits are rolling down the screen.
Are rolling down the screen.
As they're having their that argument was hilarious.
I'm going to put you in the.
I'm going to punch you in the ovary.
In the ovary.
Straight to it. What are you?
Yeah,
that's terrible.
So Maggie Gyllenhaal auditioned for the role of Veronica Corningstone, and Amy Adams and Leslie Mann were considered.
Okay.
Now, as Leslie Mann would have been considered because she was married to Judd Apatow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go.
Awesome.
Interesting.
There we go. Anyone with anything else?
No.
Okay. No, I think that's covered.
Quotables. Now there is 8 million. So let's maybe hold down to our favourite 60.
Oh, just...
Damo, go for it.
I don't even remember this line, but maybe it was in the Foxtel version. The Champ Kynes talking after the party, like he shit a legitimate. I shit a
squirrel.
Right?
Yeah, sorry, Champ. I ate your chocolate squirrel.
Yeah, but before that though, I've got this shit covered squirrel down in the office, and I don't know what to name it.
Yeah. And then Brick.
Brick was like,
Brick goes,
oh, sorry, Champ. I think I ate your chocolate squirrel.
I didn't catch that. But that's great.
He doesn't know what to name it. That's what he's all worried about. Like he shit a live squirrel, but he doesn't know what to name it. But the other bit was Tits McGee.
Oh my God.
And just calling it Tits McGee.
I'm Tits McGee. Ron Burgundy.
Just funny. But we mentioned the other one that I laughed at was Mr. Burgundy, you have a massive erection.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But there is a gazillion.
Oh, it's funny. Like, we've already talked about Crosey's done the Sex Panther thing, but at the start of that, I'll give this little cookie an hour before we're doing the no pants dance.
Yeah.
Time to musk up.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just like,
going into battle.
I'm just like, oh my God, it's just so funny. It's so funny.
It's incredibly quotable, isn't it? You could go on and on.
And then the boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast. It jumped up a notch. It did, didn't it? And then Brick goes, yeah, I stabbed a man in the heart. Ron Burgundy, I saw that. Brick killed a guy. Did you throw a trident? It's just like, oh my God. It's just so ludicrous. It's so ludicrous.
Oh, God.
And then I loved Ron Burgundy. Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Yeah.
I doubt the network was talking about an old ship, Ron.
Ron is just,
Even his delivery on the question mark when he's reading the auto cue.
I'm
Ron Burgundy.
Oh my God, who put a question mark in the teleprompter? And of course, San Diego, which of course in German means whale's vagina.
Yes, of course it does.
So stupid.
It's so dumb. It's so
So
dumb. Doesn't it mean San Diego? No, it doesn't mean that.
No, yes.
San
No, it doesn't.
Diego.
He's so dumb. He's so dumb. Anything else? Oh, look, the whole movie.
You could do an hour
You could do just the
just on
quotes.
quoting it.
Yeah, it's so funny. All right, 1 degree of Kurt Russell. Did anyone get anything?
No, I forgot.
I've got a very loose 1 degree of Kurt Russell. So Danny Trejo is in the Machete trailer in the Grindhouse films
That's it.
where Kurt Russell's in Death Proof.
Oh, that's a great catch.
That's a good one, isn't it? Yeah.
well done.
Excited with that.
And I scoured
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
the net because I was determined to find the link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went through so many different kinds of searches, and then you found that.
Yeah.
And that's perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought it was a
that will
good one.
do the
One of the
trick.
better
That'll
ones.
do it.
Yeah.
Okay, film school for F-wits. And after the great success of the trivia the other week that Dan pulled on me and you,
Yeah.
I've got a Anchorman trivia, which has got nothing to do with Anchorman.
Oh.
What I've done is I've got 10 questions, 5 each.
10?
5 each. 5 each. All to do with movies in the IMDb top 250.
Right.
Oh.
Right. So I'm going to start with Damo.
Yep.
And this is for the Anchorman. This is for the
yep,
the
for the
Anchorman
belt.
Championship.
For the Intercontinental belt.
This is it. You're going to win it off Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
Damo. In The Shawshank Redemption,
Oh, yeah.
Andy Dufresne plays a record over the prison's loudspeaker that captivates the inmates. What opera is being played?
Oh, my God. I wouldn't have a clue, but I can hear Red saying, I don't know what she's saying about, but some Italian something.
Two fat ladies. Don't know what those two fat ladies were singing about.
Yeah. It was some Italian opera.
Okay, Croaky, I'll give you a chance at this.
I can't find it.
Okay, it's
No.
The Marriage of Figaro
Oh, my
Ah,
God.
by Mozart. I thought you might
Nice.
get that.
No, well,
Nice.
Now, Croaky,
Mm,
this might be very easy for you, this one.
mm.
It's a two-part question. In The Godfather Part 2, Michael Corleone has a brother who betrays him. Now, the first part is easy. What is the brother's name?
Mm.
And where does Michael confront him about the betrayal?
The brother's name is Sal. Am I right?
No,
No, maybe I'm thinking of Dog Day Afternoon with this.
it is. It's the same plot. It's the same
actor.
guy.
That's right. I'm crossing over. It was you. It was you.
It was you. And he kisses him. It
He
was
kisses
you.
him.
Says his name.
Yeah.
Kisses him.
Mm. It's not coming.
Is it Fredo?
It's Fredo.
Who went on to create a fellowship
With Sam?
with Sam,
Now-
and there was a kind of a love
Mary and
thing
Pippin?
happening there that was very unresolved. No, so yes,
So it's
Fredo?
Fredo, but where does he confront him?
they're at a lake house.
Yeah.
No, that's where he gets. That's
He-
where he gets assassinated. That's.
Oh,
that's
Oh, he
ins-
confronts him
the
at the
salt-
wedding.
Nope.
No, he
that's-
confronts him at a party. There's a party.
It isn't a party. It isn't a party.
It's a party,
Yeah.
and there are people dancing
Yes.
and celebrating.
Yes.
They're having a celebration of some kind.
Yes, they are.
Thanks, Dimmy Cochran.
Okay, I'm calling this out.
Yeah.
I'm calling this out. So the brother's Fredo, and he confronts him on New Year's Eve in
Right.
Havana, Cuba.
Right.
At the New Year's Eve party.
Nice.
Okay, these questions aren't easy.
It's mate, I've seen that movie once.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, it's a masterclass. I should get back.
Now,
and look at
Damo,
it.
you should get this.
All right.
In Schindler's List,
Oh, yeah.
What a riot!
what does Oskar Schindler give to his Jewish workers as a farewell gift, symbolizing his ultimate commitment to their survival?
What does he give to them?
What does he give to them at the end? He's doing his monologue about, I could save one more. This is one more. This
yeah,
is one
yeah,
more.
yeah. That car, or that was
Yep.
bought. It could have been another
That's,
person.
that car, that's 10
Yeah,
people.
Yeah, yep.
What does
And
he
he
give
gives
them?
them
He
something.
gives them something at the end.
It's a good question.
Jesus, we're not really going too good here.
No,
He gives them. I have a pack of
His
smokes.
gold ring.
packet. Of
Oh, he does too.
smokes.
And
he
it's-
gives the
it's-
whole. Yes, they.
And,
yes.
and it's actually inscribed with a quote.
This is back to Lord of the Rings with Fredo and the
Yes,
ring.
It is.
and there's a ring.
Whoever saves one life saves the world entire.
Yeah, and yeah, that's right. And they'll give him a big hug.
Yep.
Big group hug.
Okay, so it's 0-0 so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah,
Feeling good.
Croaky.
this is exactly what a movie podcast should be.
Yes.
With a bunch of cinephiles
This is
who
it.
know their stuff,
This is-
sharing their
pretty
broad
tough
knowledge.
This one's a little bit easier.
Oh, good.
In Fight Club,
Mhm.
the main character's apartment explodes. What catalog does he reference when lamenting over his lost furniture?
I want to say IKEA,
It's exactly the right answer.
but I'm thinking that it might be. Yes, of course. There you go. It's
It's an
IKEA.
IKEA catalog.
Yes.
So that's how we're consumers. And
yes.
that's how
And there's a little
Ah.
sequence.
he does all
that
the.
transitions
correct.
into.
It's a great sequence.
Yes, it is.
Damo, in Blade Runner, what is the lifespan of the Nexus 6 replicants?
Is this Blade Runner 1?
In Blade Runner, not 2049.
Okay, yeah.
in Blade
Final
Runner.
cut.
Their
What
lifespan.
is the lifespan of the Nexus 6 replicants?
Oh my God! There's Rutger Hauer and
Yeah,
Daryl Hannah.
That's good. That's not
and,
the question.
I can't remember how long they live for. Maybe
Brian,
Austin Green.
no, Brian
Austin Green.
Brian out of Tango and Cash. What's his name?
Oh,
Brian James. Brian, Brion.
right.
James.
I don't know. Maybe 20 years.
No, 4 years.
4. Is that all they live for?
Yeah. Yep, 4 yeyears. Which is why Roy is desperate to find out who his
These are
creator
some
is.
tough questions.
I'm telling you, they were tough.
Yeah.
Morgs gave us relatively easy
There's
ones.
going to be people listening going, they're not tough questions. You just
just
don't
stupid.
know.
You're just stupid. Croxy. In the movie Inception,
Nice.
Cobb uses a totem to check if he's in reality or a dream.
Uh-huh.
What is this totem, and what specific action indicates he's in the dream?
The totem spins.
Yes, that's yep.
And as the totem spins, as long as it's spinning, you know you're in the dream.
Yes.
When it stops, you know you're in reality.
Yep.
Something like that.
Something like that. And then
So what's the totem?
what is
like-
the totem?
Yep.
Whatever that thing is.
Yeah, that's
like
a
a little.
good-
I'll give it to you. It's a
top,
spinning
little
top.
top,
It's a spinning
yeah.
top.
Right.
Yeah. Well done.
One of the great endings of any
2-0.
film.
Yeah.
One of the great endings
of the great
any
endings.
film. And it's Nolan. I think it's Nolan's masterpiece.
It's a great film. It's really, really good. Do you think it's better than Interstellar?
Yes, I do.
I'll tell you.
I think Interstellar's a highly flawed, beautiful piece of cinema. But
It's a bit self-indulgent. So
it's just cold.
Yeah.
I find it cold, character cold.
I find the
It's
relationship
cinematically
between the daughter and that makes me. That's a movie
Yeah,
that
it's
makes me
pretty
cry.
It does. I'm with it until the final moments. I just don't. I don't believe
You don't
the
buy it.
scene in the
You don't
in the
buy it.
bed in the.
the bookcase.
No, no, I'm there for all
Oh,
of that.
in the space station.
Yeah, the
Okay.
scene by the bed and she's on a deathbed. I just don't buy it. Anyway,
Yeah.
but you can't knock the film for what it is. It's a visual
Both.
feast.
Both.
Nolan's a little like Kubrick in that they'll trade off character for vision.
Yeah,
Almost.
definitely.
They're always come off a little cold for me. Those
Yep.
characters, but
Yep.
I think Inception.
Inception's
is
great.
his masterpiece.
It's great.
He gets to even make his own Bond film in there. That whole
Yeah,
snow
yeah.
sequence.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's great.
You know,
Yeah,
I
that's
think he's
excellent.
indulging in his
Yeah,
Bond
definitely.
fantasy.
Zimmer's song "Time"
Yes.
is probably in my top 4. Just that single piece
Yeah.
called "Time"
I've got a friend of
is
mine who's
unbelievable.
you're absolutely correct. I'm sorry to sidetrack you, but I've
No,
got
go
a
for it.
good mate of mine who's a cinephile, knows his movies, and we were talking recently, and he was talking about how his daughters are now dating, and he's got several daughters, and he'll tell me stories about, I met the new boyfriend here, I met the new boyfriend there, and we're just talking about movies, and he said, I always ask them, I'll say, he tells me something about them. What's your favorite movie? What do you like to watch? What's a movie that had it? And he said, you know what I hear again and again over the years, what I've heard? I said, no, what's that? He goes, it's Interstellar.
Oh,
That generation are all saying that's my movie. That's
Yeah.
my 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no denying its greatness. I'm not sitting here passing it off. But he was saying that's a film that he hears again and again when people say greatest film of all time. It's Interstellar.
really?
I'd love to see Interstellar on the big screen again.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would. Just the sound, like the sound production in that movie is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Okay, so we're 2-0.
Oh,
I
God.
think this is one you'll get.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Damo.
Yep.
In The Dark Knight,
Oh, yeah, I know
here
this
we
movie.
go.
Joker gives 2 different stories about how he got his scars.
Yeah.
What was the first story he told?
Oh, his dad wasn't real. He was a bit of a psycho.
Yep.
And he said, "Let's put a smile on your face."
Why
But-
so serious?
But my favourite one is there's a meme where he's eating a super duper.
Yep.
You know, the plastic
Yeah.
with the really sharp
Yeah.
edges. You want to know how I got these scars?
That's great.
He's got the plastic.
That's funny.
Because the other one was the razor blades in the mouth, right?
Yeah,
That was it's his
Oh,
wife.
yeah.
His wife gets injured.
When he tells Maggie,
And he cuts his own scars to make him look like her, so she didn't feel that
Oh.
bad. And then she then tells him to fuck off because he's ugly.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's obviously a masterpiece, but you see the amount of memes going around that and comments. How does what's the name? The attorney, Harvey
Harvey
Dent.
Dent.
Harvey Dent's in hospital. Joker comes in
How does he
dressed
not?
as a
Oh my
nurse,
Yeah.
god!
and he's only shocked when he takes the mask off.
That's right.
It's this great revelation.
it's you.
It's you. Yeah.
Well, that was part of my I think my bad in that.
it was.
Oh,
when
is
we
it?
watched
You've
it,
covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
How does he not know?
It's so obvious.
It's
The green
great.
hair.
The full
Yeah.
makeup.
It's
just,
great.
Yeah.
Okay, Croxy. We're getting down to the pointy end now. 2 to go each. In Apocalypse Now,
Oh.
Colonel Kilgore, played by Robert Duvall,
Yeah.
makes a famous statement. What is it?
If I say it's safe to surf, it's safe to surf.
That's one of them.
Oh, you're talking about the Robert Duvall character?
Yes, Colonel Kilgore.
Yeah, where he's on the beach
He
and
is.
talking about loving the smell of napalm in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Smells like victory.
victory.
I love the smell of napalm.
Yeah.
So good.
That puts me at 3, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's 3-1. It's 3-1.
Now, this is all right.
I don't know.
Damo,
Yeah.
you're never going to get this. You're never going to get
Well,
this.
that's reassuring.
Yeah.
In Goodfellas,
Oh, yeah.
the character Jimmy Conway, played by Robert De Niro, tells the crew to avoid a certain drink while celebrating the heist. You know, when they do the big Lufthansa heist?
Yeah.
What drink does he warn them against?
Gosh.
Shirley Temple.
Champagne.
Oh,
Because it'll draw attention to themselves.
Ah, right. And then
Because then
then
the
I'll
guy
make rocked
goes
up
and
in the
buys
Cadillac.
the Cadillac and he kills him.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's hanging in the.
So
in
don't
the,
look like you're
freezer.
celebrating.
Don't look like you're
Right.
celebrating. He ended up,
Have a shandy.
yeah, he
Yeah.
ended up ripping everybody off anyway.
He did. I was glad. Oh, I didn't like him.
You remember shandy?
Okay, we're gonna
Kiss.
do one last one.
Nice.
We're gonna do one last one for you, Croxy,
Nice.
just to put the final nail in the coffin.
Mhm.
Right.
In 7, John Doe's meticulous killing spree represents each of the 7 deadly
What's
sins.
in the box?
In the scene where the detectives find the victim representing the sin of sloth, how long had the victim been kept alive and tortured in that condition before being discovered?
Yeah, what a scene. And
One of the great jump scares.
It is one of the great jump
Mhm.
scares.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't got an answer for that at all.
I'll give you 1 year to the
Yeah,
day.
okay, there you go. 1 year to the
Was
day.
it a year
Yeah,
to the day?
They timed it pretty well.
Yeah, what a film that is.
But you know what was so good too in that? The whole roof was covered in
Air freshness.
air fresheners.
Huh.
Yeah.
Right? The whole thing. Because obviously to cover
Mask
the,
the
cover the
smell.
smell of this freaking bloke. But they walk in, it's like there's air fresheners all through the roof.
Yeah,
and
I've got to go back and watch
Yeah.
that movie
Oh,
again.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Detective
Great
Somerset,
movies.
mate.
What a classic.
Yeah.
Great movies. Okay, well done, gentlemen.
Awesome.
We got work to do.
We're
Yeah.
going to anoint Croxy as king of Anchorman,
Intercontinental.
Intercontinental champion. Now today we're going to do something special for Kick-Ass Credit Song.
Oh right,
aren't we?
yes, yeah. We better just work out our
We'll little pause here. We'll work out how it's going to work.
our composition.
3-part harmonies are always a little challenging.
We can do
They
it.
are.
So the first bit is solo. First 4 lines. Right.
Sure.
This is how Ron sung, but I'm thinking someone sings the first 2, someone sings the 3rd line, someone sings the 4th line solo.
Sure.
Then we've got when we all sing that together, and then that think who wants to do the real high brick Tamland?
I'm ha-
You know,
well,
he's
you're kind of there.
You're there.
You're there.
okay. Well, I'll do the brick Tamland high,
Right, okay.
and then but we all we harmonise that when everything's a little clearer, and we know the note is always going to be there anyway.
Yeah, that's very Eagles.
Yeah,
That
Yes,
whole line's a
yeah,
very Don Henley, Glenn
Yeah.
Frey
Yeah.
harmony.
But
So
that bit,
if are we
I'll
going?
do the high.
Are
Yeah.
we going?
So you do the first 2 lines.
Right.
Gonna find my baby, gonna
Yeah.
hold her, and then you do gonna grab. And then my motto's always been when it's
Who's that?
right, it's right. I'll do the 3rd line. Then
Yeah.
you go, why wait until the middle of a cold dark night?
And then we all go.
And then we all do when
everything's a little
good.
clearer.
All right. Well, let's not do it now.
Right. Okay. And then
And we know the night is over anyway. And then we all do this, but I'll just do the high.
thinking of you working
You
up
know,
my appetite.
Well, I want to do the skyrocket effect.
Oh, you want to go?
Oh, you want to do the
"Boo!"
when?
Yeah,
You can be champ.
Yeah, nice.
You can be champ.
You gonna do both or just that?
I'm
bit?
going to do both.
You do both. You do
Okay.
both.
But let's just see where it goes.
Yeah. All right.
And then we'll go afternoon delight.
And then we
then-
might do the whole 3 minutes.
Right. Okay. So are we good?
Yeah,
All right, let's
okay.
do this.
All right. So here we go. Something special, something different. Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight.
My motto's always been when it's right, it's right.
Why wait until the middle of a cold, dark night
When everything's a little clearer in the light of day. And we know the night is always gonna be there anyway.
Thinking of you working up an appetite. Wait, where's my backup?
Okay, start again. Go,
All right,
go,
here we go, here.
go. Yeah, your bit. 3.
Wait, we're all doing this bit.
Yeah, we'll all do it. You do the high bit, and we'll come in with a lower.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Thinking of you working up an appetite, looking forward to a little afternoon delight.
Rubbing sticks and stones together makes the sparks ignite, and the thought of loving you getting so excited. Skyrockets in flight. Afternoon delight. Afternoon delight.
Oh, not bad, gentlemen, not bad.
Afternoon delight.
So stupid.
Mate, so dumb.
Oh,
There we
God.
go. A
Nice
little bit of
Brick Tamland.
afternoon delight for you
Not
people.
bad for a first take.
Yeah,
pretty
not
good.
bad for
Yeah,
a first
pretty
take.
good.
Very,
Yeah.
very talented.
Yeah.
Very talented. A bit like ad lib. We'd be good, very good at ad lib.
We
Who,
would be
who
good.
had the original version of that song? Do we know?
The
was it?
Starland Vocal Band.
There you go. Was it?
There
Yep.
we go.
I was going to say, but it's not Captain and Tennille. It's not them.
No.
so who
but
was
they
it? What is it?
Starland Vocal
The
Band.
Starland Vocal Band.
Yeah.
What a classic.
Yeah.
The fact that's in that movie like that is just genius.
It's just tell me what love feels like, or
Yeah,
whatever the
yeah,
lead up is. And
yeah.
gonna find my.
Oh, let's do it again.
Yeah, well, I think once is enough.
Yeah.
Okay, star of the show, Croaksy, who you got? Who's your MVP?
Look, it's Will's movie. It's his vehicle, no doubt about it. But it's Willard.
Fred Willard.
Fred
Oh,
Willard.
yeah.
I just, on that latest view, I just thought, I love that character.
Yeah.
It's Will's show, no doubt. But Willard, I think, is fabulous in that
Yeah.
film.
Ed Harkin.
Ed Harkin.
Who you got?
You know, I'm exactly the same as Croaks, but different.
Yeah.
Definitely Ron Burgundy's film, Will Ferrell, but I love Vince Vaughn the most.
Really?
I love Wes Mantooth. I thought he
I
was.
hate you, Ron Burgundy.
I thought his acting and his faces were just.
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
They were second to none for me. I really loved Wes Mantooth. So yeah, Vince Vaughn is my MVP.
I'm hopping in bed with Croaksy. I think that
Fred.
Now there's a picture
Fred
for you.
Willard is incredible this time around. He was the guy that really stood out the most for me this time.
Yeah,
I loved him.
he is awesome.
He's so over the top, but also then so reserved. He's
Yes.
amazing. I loved him.
And that's a tightrope walk.
Definitely.
That's the thing that gets overlooked with comedies. I think dramas are a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But to pull off a comedy like that, it's a tightrope walk.
Definitely.
And everyone's walking it beautifully.
Yeah.
It's easy to pass it off. But I think there's so much comic greatness in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, the rank bank. Now, we've got a few to choose from here. I'm going to throw some at you. Let's see if you can hit it back to me. Popper Burgundies.
Mm.
Massive erections. Channel 4 news teams. Cannonballs. Toilet stores. Sex Panthers.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Bigfoot's dicks.
Oh yeah,
Pants parties.
that's a good one too.
Gun shows.
Mm.
Whales' vaginas. It's probably the most we've had for any movie.
Yeah, I like Sex Panthers.
Sex Panthers. Yep.
Yeah, I could go pants parties or Sex Panthers.
Well, you know what? Let's go Sex Panthers.
Done.
Iodian.
Six. Wow.
It works every time.
60% of the time works every
60% of the
time.
That
it
makes no
works.
sense.
That makes no sense.
How many countries is it banned in or illegal in?
It's in quite a few.
Like to even come up with that,
Yes.
it's illegal in 10
Yeah, all that
countries. It's
stupidity.
just like
And the panther roar
Yeah.
just quietly in the mix. It's just there enough. And it's corny too.
they come up with great names. So I said like London Gentleman and Blackbeard's Delight.
Yes.
It reminds me of all the Ben Stiller, La Tigra,
Yes.
Blue Steel,
Yes,
Magnum, just
yes.
all those sorts of just those names are brilliant to
yeah.
come up with those.
Croxy, how many Sex Panthers out of 5 are you giving Anchorman?
I'm going to go 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
This
That's,
movie doesn't get a lot wrong.
yep, I like that.
And it's got something to say.
Yep.
A
Very-
satirical romantic comedy with teeth.
Oh, Sex Panther teeth.
There you go.
Damo, how many Sex Panthers?
Yeah, this is a hilariously funny movie. I loved watching it. I'm a 4 as well. 4 Sex Panthers.
I'm
Biodian.
loving it.
Biodian.
Well, I'm giving Anchorman 3.75 Sex Panthers. It's funny. I love it. It'll never be condoed. I'll be continuing to watch it. I'd like to say there's something new I pick up on it every time, but that'd be lying because I think I've picked up everything now.
Yeah.
I think eating the chocolate squirrel was
squirrel.
the final
I
thing
just
to
don't
pick
know
up.
what to name it.
Yeah, very, very funny. Okay, now that gives us a score of 3.92 Sex Panthers.
Right.
It'll be close with all the comedies. It'll be around.
It puts it into equal 60th spot with several movies.
So there's 60 movies above 3.92.
Yeah. We're going to have to start doing some movies that we think are really shit.
Right.
Okay, so 3.92 Cool Execs with a Hardo Steel.
Iron Man.
3.92 Assistant Managers.
Coming to America?
Yeah, do you know? Yeah, yes. 3.92 Crop Top Wave Frolics.
Oh, Rocky 3.
Rocky 3.
Your recall. He's got great recall.
3.92 Hobbled Ankles.
Oh, that was the other week.
Misery.
Did we give
This is why we did it.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And then 3.92 Sex Panthers, equal 60th spot.
Wow.
Yeah. So right in the middle.
Yeah.
We are going to have to start doing some shit movies.
We are. I tell you what, we got to start doing on podcasts, talking about the Beatles.
Well, we're going to get to that
Are
towards the end. We're at the end now, and I like your segue.
That wasn't a page. That was a page turn.
That
wasn't
was.
a segue. It was a turn.
That was
the
a
page.
turn the page.
We're going to turn the
Now,
page.
what we do here,
The turning the page is the greatest page I've ever seen.
what we do here on Born to Watch is we inspire. We inspire
Yes.
normal people to step up to the plate.
Nice.
Now, Croaksy, why don't you tell us the inspiration we've been to you and what you've been doing in the dark alleys
Look,
Of Liverpool.
Yes. I was inspired by being invited into Born to Watch, seeing the fun you guys were having and talking about film with a love of film like you have. And it got me thinking, I'd love to go and do something like that. So, but it's not film. For me, it's the Beatles. I'm a big Beatles fan since I was 8. And my brother plays John Lennon in a Beatles tribute band. My nephew plays George Harrison in that same band. They've been playing together now for over a decade. And I know a lot of similar people that love that band for a variety of reasons. So I'm launching You Can Talk to Me, a Beatles podcast in December, on the 6th of December. And it comes from a song called Hey Bulldog. That title comes from a song called Hey Bulldog, which Beatle-philes will tell you is one of their great underrated songs.
Yep.
And You Can Talk to Me is in the chorus. So I thought I'll pull that out, turn that into the title, and it's about Beatles fans talking about fandom.
Yep.
So, we launch on December 6th, and I want to thank you guys for the tone inspiration and the approach to it, which I've drawn directly from the experience of sitting here and being a part of just sharing a love for film. And it's kind of the same type of energy I'm taking into this as well. So hopefully fans of that band will come along for the ride.
Will it have a snobs report?
I'm not even sure how I would do that.
Yeah.
I could work one out for you.
Could you?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Don't lower yourself. Croaksy, don't lower yourself.
No,
Mate, I am really excited. We'll be your number one fans. We'll promote it here on Born to Watch. We'll make sure that
That's very kind
whenever
of
an
you.
episode gets released, we'll make sure that we send it out to our masses as well.
Don't
because
risk losing your audience.
No, no, that's fine.
On a
There's
knife's
enough
edge.
to share.
It's on a
There's
knife's edge.
It is on a knife's edge.
It's on a knife's
We've
edge.
already lost some of the hosts, so Morgs is all the way gone just about. But mate, I'm really excited for you. Really proud of you. I'm glad you're chasing your dream and having some fun, and
Awesome.
that's what it's about, mate. So
Thank
I can't
you, mate.
wait to listen to it.
Legend.
The 6th of December. Next week,
Mhm.
Damo,
Yep, I'm here. Cockburn's in.
Cockburn is in, and we're going back in time to celebrate the release of Gladiator 2.
I thought you were going to jump into the chorus of "Back in Time" by Huey Lewis and the News. There, I was waiting
Oh
for
my
you.
God!
Going
Back to the
in
future.
time.
Back to the future.
End credits. I think
Yeah.
it was.
Huey Lewis.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? You're doing
We're doing the original Gladiator,
Fantastic.
2000. Best actor. I think I won Best Picture as well.
great timing.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing Gladiator 2. We may even do Gladiator 2 as
Nice.
a little quick review. I've been doing that every now and again.
Yeah.
Joker, Folie à Deux,
Romulus,
terrible.
Alien Romulus.
Romulus was okay.
Yeah.
Folie à Deux, terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of the
have
worst
no
movies
interest in seeing it.
Ever made.
Yeah,
Wow.
So bad. So bad.
just
Wow.
jump the
It's
shark.
just so disappointing.
Yeah.
After the setup from the first movie,
But that's obviously deliberate, don't you think?
you know what it is? It reeks of I'm the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
That's what it reeks
Do you
of.
think he was going for I'm just going to twist this whole thing around as an artistic statement
100%.
to put a finger up to the audience?
100%.
Like it's not by chance.
No,
Like, I'm going to structure this in
You
such a
can't
way.
do it that badly.
No.
It's
Oh,
done on
fluke.
purpose.
Yeah.
And they've also left it open.
Have
They've
they?
also left it
I
open.
didn't look at it.
For no
Don't
one to
bother.
watch.
It's
Yeah.
it's really not worth it. That what could have been what's one of the great character studies in the first movie
Mm.
is just wasted.
So
It's
they've
just
left it
wasted.
open. It's like someone's done a massive shit in the dunny, hasn't flushed it, and the door's open.
That's it.
That's about as inviting it is to go in.
Don't go in.
Yeah.
Someone needs to now name that and not necessarily eat it.
Yeah.
But
If someone walks out of the toilet and says, "I've just done a folie à deux," don't go in there.
Yeah.
Don't go in
yeah.
there.
Well, we were talking about sequels before.
It's one
one
of the
of
bad
the
ones.
great modern day,
Yeah.
but very deliberate missteps.
Yeah,
It
it
tells us
does seem deliberate. It does
Yeah.
seem deliberate. Anyway, that's that. Damo, awesome job. Thank you. Great to have you back. Croaksy, as always. We now need to start planning the next one. I know you're going to be a busy man once you become a full-time podcaster. Once Beatlemania takes shape. And just before you go,
Yeah.
what's your favourite Beatles song?
Yeah, it can change on any day, as any fan will tell you.
I'd imagine.
There's
Yeah.
like 250 odd songs in the
Yeah.
catalogue. Their greatest musical achievement, hands down, which has never changed for me, is A Day in the Life of Sergeant Pepper's
Oh
Lonely
my
Hearts Club Band.
God. Oh my God.
We're so overfamiliar with that music that you don't tend to regard it with the esteem that it deserves because it's just part of life now.
Yeah.
But when you go back and put a set of headphones on and listen to A Day in the Life
So
and
good.
remind yourself, this is 1967
Mm.
and nothing sounded like that. And when that dropped, it changed the world. It changed recording.
Mm.
You hear it now and it's a Beatles song. When you go back and just put yourself in time and think, this thing dropped, and only a few years earlier they were singing She Loves You, Yeah, Yeah, Yeah.
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 And now they're with a symphonic masterpiece in 2 parts, and it's got avant-garde in it, and it's got this beautiful production. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
You got a vocal from
Is
Lennon.
that on that?
vocal
So
from McCartney.
yeah.
Woke up, got out of bed.
I love
I
that
read
bit
the
when that.
news
Yeah,
today,
I love that bit
boy.
when it kicks in.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, it's such a
Oh, it's
great
incredible.
Yeah.
If you put a set of headphones on and just close your eyes and forget that you're over familiar and just listen to it, it's an incredible achievement
Yeah.
for 4 guys that crawled out of Liverpool
Yeah.
and were self-taught.
song.
And
All good singers.
All good singers, all good players, all solid writers. And in just a few short years, they jump from I Want to Hold Your Hand to A Day in
Yeah.
the Life.
Crazy.
They're like 2 different brands. How did that happen?
Beards
It only
and-
happened once in history.
Yeah.
So it's incredible. But that song for me, that's the greatest thing they ever did.
This week you might change it next week. I think he used to
I
be a
think it's a great
Norwegian
song.
wood guy.
Yeah. But see, that's the great thing about them. You get several bands in one. You get a boy band when they first burst on the scene, the first boy band
Yeah.
playing their instruments, writing their songs. Then you get this studio band when they're psych rock and they're doing a little bit of proggy stuff. And then they go back and it's long hair and beards. And now they're doing blues, Helter Skelter. They're doing the template for heavy metal.
Mm.
You get kind of 3 bands in 8 years.
It's short too. Like you don't realise how short they were together.
No, I was talking with a
Yeah.
guy on
Yeah.
an episode recently, and he made the same comment. And the recording career is like, it's less than 10 years. And we both agreed it was like a comet that bursts across the sky and it's bright and it shines, and as quickly as you see it, it's gone.
Yeah.
But the trail is so impressive, people are still talking
yeah.
about it.
Nice metaphor.
And it was like, yeah, so it was kind of like it was. It's just kind of, it burnt so bright that it had to burn out quick.
Yeah.
But then here we are in 2024,
Oh,
and people are still talking. Generations are still discovering.
Absolutely.
It. Hasn't been diminished. They're not in bargain bins.
Yep.
It's just gone higher and higher.
yeah.
It's just an incredible story.
Yeah.
And it's great talking to other fans and finding out the why. Why do you love them so much? And it
Yeah.
goes way beyond the music. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Fascinating.
Absolutely. Well done. Well, there you go. There's an insight into what the podcast is going to be. I'm
Thanks
glad
for
I asked
having
the
me. This was
question.
fun.
Good stuff.
Thank you, Croaksy. As always, we'll also think about another movie.
Yep.
Probably not 2001.
We are laughing.
Thank you, people. Don't forget, share to your friends, share to your enemies. We'll be back next week for
Gladiator.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.